Yay.
But ladies and gentlemen, Josh Sanch here, your host here on the Bodybuilding News Network. Welcome to a special installment here on BNN of All Things Fitness, where we have two phenomenal IFBB Pro Fitness women competitors. Well, there's only one division for fitness, and that is the ladies division. We have Abby Bolton, a returning guest. We've had her on here quite a few times. One of my favorite fitness competitors. She's here to talk to us about our new guest and new fitness IFBB Pro Maddy. So I'll go ahead and give it the floor to these two because they were talking about how they're doing and what their plans are coming into this year, and Abby's post Olympia recap we've been waiting diligently for.
Oh boy, where to start? Oh my goodness. Where do you want me to start? Like post Olympia?
Yeah, let's start with that.
Like Olympia recap? Okay. The whole weekend was like the craziest experience, which I figured it would be because ever since like getting into the sport, I feel like any athlete who gets into the sport, like that is like the epitome. That is like I don't want to say end goal, but that is like one of the biggest goals that you can accomplish.
A lot of people's end goal is if I can just get to the
there.
Olympia.
Yeah. So, and just to share that stage or to like walk across and like perform on a stage where so many high caliber athletes have stepped on, or like you're sharing the stage with people like Sid Gillen, like, you know what I mean? People who have been around forever and like multiple time Olympia winners. Like it was just so cool. I think there's definitely different moments throughout the weekend that I would say like were highlights. Like the meet and greet was one, which was really cool. Just getting to interact with different athletes, not just in the fitness division, but also in other divisions. And just getting to actually like interact with people that you see on social media, but to actually have face-to-face interaction with and just hear their stories and whatnot. So that was a highlight. But I think my favorite moment was finals, like getting to actually step on that final stage and perform my routine, and just literally you're backstage and like there's Phil Heath and like Sid Gill and like people like that, and like everyone in the fitness division. It was cool. It was really cool.
Well, good. Yeah, we before we started talking, we were talking about how I like briefly got to see you and like how that was like one of my big highlights for the weekend. So, again, like it was good to meet you, and hopefully this coming Olympia, when you qualify and you're there, we can get a prejudging interview where you can recap or you can kind of give us a breakdown of the ladies that are competing and who's going to be there. And Maddy, we'll introduce you in a second, and we can talk about what your competitive plans are. It's just
I love it.
There's so much to talk about, but so fun. Also, I know I want to talk about how the point qualifications has possibly affected the fitness division, because fitness is also one of those divisions that there's so many shows, but there's not a lot of women's fitness shows. So I definitely would love to hear both of you your thoughts on that as well. But Maddy, the floor is yours.
Oh my gosh. Thank you guys. Wow. So let's see, where do I start? I turned pro at the Amateur Olympia this past year. So that was obviously, that's a highlight for all competitors. That's like one of the biggest goals. Like Abby was saying, the Olympia is huge, but once you get to you're on the pro level, it's a whole
it's like the perfect stage to qualify pro for.
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying too. Like the stage itself, the arena, everything, it was just like so surreal. Sorry, my dog is being crazy. But yes, the whole thing was just so surreal because I did North Americans like for that. And that stage was nice and everything, but the difference that I noticed was like it was like staging. You know what I mean? Like the stage was like built like to be there. So it was really like doing your routine during finals, like it was so wonky, like that you could tell like if you landed one way, like you could have just broken there. Like it was really scary. But at the Amateur Olympia, like the way they kept everything, it was just like the best way to put it is it was really professional. Like it just like felt right. So, let's see. I did the Amateur Olympia, and what's crazy is my story of turning pro is a little different than most competitors. And I'm sure, I think Kareth probably maybe mentioned something to you, because Kareth was talking about you to me, and I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah,
like
his shameless plug.
Yeah, I love Kareth. He's such a nice dude.
Yeah.
But so yeah, I on stage, I actually didn't receive my pro card. Like, when you search up the Amateur Olympia on, like, like the website for it, where you can like register, it'll tell you like, all right, top 3 of every division turn pro. So it didn't happen on stage. There's only one overall winner, and the other 2 just didn't receive our pro cards. So it was really confusing at first. So just for like clarification, I went to the judges and asked like, I went to the judges right afterwards, and I asked like, well, like, can you guys explain to me like further, like what this means, like what the rules are? And I was told to contact the like more IFBB officials and discuss it with them. And I was like, all right. So I did exactly that. And like 2 weeks later, I received an email from Tyler Mannion saying, you did receive your pro card. Like, congratulations. Like, I know this isn't typical, but like, it is what it is. And so I was like, oh my God, like I was over the moon at that point. I was literally sitting right here, like eating one of my meals casually when I found out. And I was like, holy crap. And it was like literally like such a weird experience, but my mom and my sister and everybody was with me. So like, I like felt that was the way it was supposed to happen, even though it wasn't like typical. And usually, you see everybody that turns pro, it's a huge moment on stage. Like, yeah, I didn't have that, but I felt like this, even though it was screwed up, like in the way that it happened, like it's not normal. I felt that it was like supposed to be like that for me. Like everything, I believe everything's already planned out, and that's just how it was meant to be, and you can't do anything about it.
Everything happens for a reason.
Exactly. Everything does happen for a reason. And like, I'm blessed that I could say that I'm a pro now, I worked for, I earned it, but just the way it happened it's just different. It's cool.
Yeah.
That doesn't take anything away from your accomplishment at all. Like,
yeah,
you still accomplished it. Like, you're a pro.
It totally. And it's like, okay, it didn't happen right there on that stage, but it did at the same time,
Yeah. Oh, 100% it did.
It did. It just wasn't, the physical thing wasn't given to you on stage, which is whatever. That is what it is.
Exactly. But like in reality, they're like, you just being a pro, like it's not like a physical thing. Like, you knew on that moment, you probably did your best and you felt accomplished and you looked amazing. I remember seeing like photos leading up. You looked incredible. So like, you deserve it.
Thanks, like ever, like physically, and my routine, that was the best I've ever done on stage. So I was like, I can't even be mad at whatever outcome happens right now, because I gave it everything that I had. So that's all you can really do. I mean, even with like the Olympia and everything, no matter what level you're at, like that's all you can do. A safe routine that is performed great, like that's like the biggest thing for fitness.
Oh, 100%. And like, that's like a really good point. Like, you can't, it's really a sport where it's you versus you, because the judging is really subjective, and you could have one set of panels who vote one way, and then you could have another set of panels who vote a completely different way. So the outcome might not always be like the same way, you know what I mean, each time. So you got to go in and just do your best, bring your best, and be happy with that.
It's so true, because sometimes like I remember at North Americans, my routine, I thought it was terrible. Like it was garbage, like in my eyes. And the judges were like, we loved it. It was so good. Your energy was great. I was like, what? Like, I thought like, that just shows though, like, in every moment, it also shows that we're so hard on ourselves and we don't really ever, kind of like appreciate like what we just did until it's over. But it was cool, like, to see the difference.
100%. That's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah. It was a crazy experience, that's for sure.
Yeah. Going back to, Tyler reaching out to you, what was the reasoning? Because you said it on the website, it says top 3, but they only gave it to the overall. So what was the reasoning on why they decided not to honor that initially?
That's I think the judges that were like present at the Amateur Olympia, I don't know. I don't know if there was like a miscommunication between how the rules were or like altogether. I don't know. The rules were like very loose is what it seemed like. Like nobody really knew, especially because it was the fitness division. And I saw something online where under like the IFBB, there's like the rules for it. I don't even know. This wasn't on the Amateur Olympia website, but it was like when you search up IFBB, like Pro League, there's like a bunch of rules with all the different national competitions. Mm-hmm. So under, give me one sec. Let me give my dog a bone really quick. She's being annoying. Give me literally 30 seconds. Hold on. It's being really, really, really.
Yeah, I'm wondering that, Abby, because like I'm just always wondering like how things change, and there's a huge conversation of like judges making decisions based off of like business decisions versus like what actually should have happened. And I know that's probably not how it happened on the amateur side, but it does raise concerns from like the media's perspective of, okay, there's rules set in place. It's in writing. Why are we not abiding by it? Why are we not respecting the athletes? And I know it's kind of like a harsher way to look at it, but I mean, at the time, I'm sure Maddy felt terrible. Like she's like, in writing, I earned my pro card and I didn't get it. And she didn't get that stage moment, which is, I feel like is really important.
Yeah. I think that there's like, oh, sorry, go ahead, Maddy.
No, I was gonna say, and Abby even knew like that I was like really distraught by it and really like taken back from this because we were messaging all weekend because I was so excited for you. You were so excited for me. Like the feelings were so mutual. So I was like right afterwards, I was like, oh my God, like I can't even let like all of Instagram or social media, like I can't let everybody know like what happened because I don't even really know what happened. Mm-hmm. So like trying to explain it to people was tough, but I was happy to have Abby because I like really messaged her like right away. And I was like, I remember being on the plane and I was like, I don't really know what happened. I didn't get it, but like I won my class. I placed first. It says top 3, but I don't know if they didn't honor it. So I don't really know what to do. But what I was saying before is, so under like the IFBB Pro League, it lists all the national competitions and like for the Amateur Olympia, it said something like if there's 10 or more competitors, then there's 3 pro cards that are handed out. If there's 8 to 9 competitors, then there's 2 pro cards handed out. And if there's anything less, it has to be at least 5 competitors. So anywhere between 5 to 8 is only 1 pro card. Mm-hmm. So they kind of said the argument back and forth was there was 7 competitors. So that's why. But from my view, I was like, okay, well, if that's how it goes, then why wasn't that listed on the Amateur Olympia website? You know?
Yeah, I think there's still, because I feel it, that 5 athlete rule, that was something new that they implemented within, I would say, like the last 2-3 years, maybe. So it never used to be that. And I think when they started to see the numbers go down in fitness, which unfortunately they have, especially like in Canada, when I was amateur, we have 3 different national shows a year in Canada. 2 of them are open, one's natural. And I would say like there would be at least like 5 to 7 girls per show.
Yeah.
This past year, even though like numbers at like regional shows are starting to increase in all like categories, fitness, like the last national show we had, there was 1 girl. That's it. Like we've got like no fitness girls competing right now in Canada. So it's actually, it makes me sad. It makes me sad. But I know the States, it's still like decent. Like you guys' turnout was really good with 7, but we need to get the numbers up. So I think there's still kind of like, there's a miscommunication between the judges in terms of like what the new rules are and like how many pro cards per like how many athletes. So maybe they thought like it was only 1 given out when it should have been 2. And but I'm just glad that they did reward you. So that's good.
Everything that was like, I can't be mad at whatever miscommunication there was, or whatever rules are messed up or confused. Like, I can't even be mad at that fact of it, because everything that's meant to be is gonna be, and that's exactly what happened. So I can't even argue that.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, at least there was a reason, you know, with the hidden rules. They're the background rules, you know. So that's good to know that it wasn't just like a, you know, they just made the decision once you asked about it.
Yeah, no, literally background rules. And they even told me to like reach out to the office and we'll talk about this. And I was like, okay, like, I don't really know what's going on, but whatever, like, clarification is all I need. That's all I need.
Mm.
It's amazing.
Because from there, even if it didn't turn out this way, it's like, at least I can have like some sort of closure with the whole thing, and then just pick a next show, go again. You know what I mean? So
yeah, because I think that's the worst, is the fact that like in that moment it wasn't even acceptance, it was confusion. Yeah. It's like you just didn't get the clarity you needed in that moment. And so it made, obviously, like not getting it, or like, you know what I mean? Like losing is hard enough as it is as an athlete. And then to have like this like question, like, okay, well, I don't understand. That's when it just makes it that much worse, because you can't forget about it or move past it until you get that clarity. It's hard. Exactly.
Like, as an athlete, we need some sort of clarity. Like, if it's like, all right, you're placing like second, third, fourth, fifth, like, all right, that's set in stone. That's how sports works. That's it. Like, there's nothing else to it. But like, that was, and it wasn't even listed on the website for the Amateur Olympia. That's where like there was just so much confusion.
Mm-hmm. Well, again, happy it worked out.
Me too.
Let's take a little sneak peek at what you brought to the Amateur Olympia stage.
Oh, okay. I love this. I'm so excited. This is cool.
So walk us through, you know, what the routine was all about, the selection of the outfit. I don't know a lot about fitness, so I'm leaving it up to you two pros to explain it.
Oh, this is so cool. So my fitness coach is Missy Truscott.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Miss Fitness Olympia. Yeah. And so she helped me design this whole routine and outfit and everything. So like, she asked me going into it, like, Maddy, what do you want to do as like a theme, like, for the routine? And I was like, honestly, I just want it to feel like me. Like, I just want to be like sassy. I don't really want to have a theme. Like, you see some people have like certain themes of like, you know, like animals or like
giant,
you know, like,
shark head. Yeah.
Missy shark head. Yeah, that's so iconic. But stuff like that. Yeah. I was like, honestly, I just want to feel like me. Like, I want to be sassy. Like, that's the theme I want to go with, is just like bring sass to it. And that's kind of what we did, definitely. And my outfit, the music is like, what was it? It's like Beyonce songs. It's a mashup of Britney Spears. So I was like, I want like a pink top, like a bright freaking neon pink, something like that. So that's what we went with. And
I like the color choice. I do. It really pops with the tan.
I was like, it has to fit the whole like Beyonce vibe.
Oh, so for sure.
That's how we did that. There wasn't really like much to go into the outfit. I just knew pink was it. And plus, during the routine, or during my posing routine, my suit is pink, so it kind of just, everything just fit together.
Oh, nice. I was kind of same with you this year. My routine was kind of more, there wasn't really a theme. It was just more like my type of performance, which is just more like intense kind of ish, if that makes sense. Totally. I love the themes, and I've done themes in the past, but there's something about just doing, it almost brings it back to like fitness back in the day. There was no themes. It was literally just, you're going up there, you're showing your skills, and I feel like it's really evolved since then. So you do see a lot more themes, but back in the day, there wasn't really themes that were going on, like in like the original fitness routines when fitness kind of like first started.
That's what I'm saying. I was, I've never, like, when I first got into it and I was trying to get like inspiration, I was like, I never really saw themes until like recent Olympias and stuff like that. So I loved your routine. Like, it was the same vibe. Like, it's just intense. and it's you're bringing something that is you to the stage.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I think it's cool because sometimes like I love themes, and like certain themes I think fit really well, and I find some of them really engage the audience and the judges, which can be beneficial, but it's sometimes when they're taken like too over the top, like if there's like too crazy of props, sometimes it almost takes away from the routine. So there's like got to be that fine balance. Plus props just make it more risky too, in my opinion. Like I've had like issues in the past with like certain costumes, like ripping like pieces off where it's gotten stuck, or like I did a routine, which I actually just recently posted. It was my very first routine, but I had like this mask. And I did a few routines with the mask and like changed it a bit. Like I would say a year and a half, I used this mask. And one of my like later routines, the like elastic snapped, thankfully in warm up. But then I was like frantically like running, trying to find somebody with tape so I could like tape the thing.
Oh my God.
From then on out, I was like, you know what?
No.
I'm done with I'm done with all these like props. Like they just can't. We'll see. Maybe we'll throw one in the future, but for now, it's just take out the risk.
I wonder if anyone's done any like Phantom of the Opera stuff. Like one of those masks. That'd be unique.
That would be unique.
It's crazy. I mean, I get scared too. Like, who knows how big the stage is going to be once you're actually there. So like ripping stuff off, or if you have a physical prop that you have to like keep moving around or something, it's like your spatial awareness, like it's so different than what you're used to practicing 100%. Because your practice space is always like the same, because usually you practice in the same area. So you know what that's going to be like. But once you get to stage and you have your prop there, like who, you know what I mean? Like, am I gonna land on that prop? Am I gonna break my neck? Like, what's gonna happen here? So that's another thing. That's also why I didn't have any props, because I was like, I don't know what any of these stages are gonna be like this year. So
exactly, it just takes away. It's just less stress, especially because I don't know, as athletes, like yes, we have to be adaptable, and like especially like us fitness girls, like this, especially like this year's Olympia. So like our final stage, I liked it. There was pros and cons. It actually had like a mat underneath. So for tumbling and stuff, it was awesome. It was really nice on the body. But for any strength skills, like hand balancing, your hands just sunk in. So like a lot of if you actually watch back the routines, like you can see like a few people, like my last like one arm balance, like at the very end of my routine, like I was having difficult with, and you can see some of the other girls who struggled with their hand balancing skills for that specific reason. Like we're not used to practicing on soft floors. So you do have to be be able to adapt to that. So exactly. So I feel like the more you can control ahead of time, like not having props or something like that, the better, because then at least like that's one less thing you have to worry about in a situation like that where you have to kind of adapt and whatnot. So
it's so true. And also it starts to like make you think like, all right, now maybe like when I'm practicing, like once a week, I'll do some handstands on a carpet or something like that. Like I'm used to doing it on like I don't know if you do it on like a hardwood floor sometimes. All right, now I got to do it on a like deep carpet, just to like, because you never know like what the stage.
I think this time around because I've always avoided, like sometimes I'll go to like a gymnastics club and practice. This whole prep I practice actually on like, like the turfs in the gym.
I do the same thing.
Do you? Okay. Because it's hard, but it's a little bit easier on the body compared to like, you know what I mean? Like a hard surface. Yeah. So that's where I practice like all my repetitions. Like right in the middle of the gym, people, like everyone in the gym knows. They know when I come in, they're like, oh gosh, this girl's going to start flipping. But
I love that, because I'm the same way. And everybody at the gym is always like, oh, that's the girl that does the flips on the turf. I'm the only one, because nobody else flips on that freaking turf. Like
really crazy ones
over there. Yeah. So I'm the only one that takes up to do flips. It's so funny, but it's a good surface because it's hard, but it's not as hard as like I've done it on hardwood. And like if I'm rolls or something, my spine, especially when you're lean, your spine digging into the floor, forget it, dude. So I was like, finding the turf was perfect. Oh my gosh.
I agree. Yeah, because I can't remember what show it was this year. I don't know if it was the Ben Weeder. One of them, I woke up the next morning and like my PSIS, so like on my hip, like, you know, like prominent bones like back there. The one side, I don't know what skill I do where like I roll on like that side of my hip. It was so bruised that it was like tender to the touch. And I was like, holy crap, that is why I go on the turf for all the repetitions. So it's crazy. I remember when I was amateur, I did a routine where I did like a push-up and I added it in like probably a week or two prior. So I didn't practice it much, but it was one where like I went on like my elbow and I must have hit it just right. I woke up the next morning. I'm talking like the biggest bruise I've ever seen in my life, like just like purple, like this like golf ball size bruise. And I was like, why is my arm hurt? And then I was like,
oh yeah, that's it. So true.
We make it look so like easy and awesome, but like the next day we have scrapes and bruises and we just beat our bodies up. It's
funny too because it's hidden with the tan also like on stage. But like I knew like on the Amateur Olympia stage, I had scrapes all like you can kind of see it during like my posing routine too. Because like you can only hide so much with the tan, but stage lighting, like everything's gonna be out in the open. So on my knees, I had like scrapes everywhere. I had rug burn. I had stuff going. It was nuts. I was like, hopefully this tan can just cover it up because this is, dude.
I have okay. So at the Olympia this year, so the Olympia is, so you know how like you'll do your presentation round, you'll do your routine, and then when you do awards, you stay in your fitness costume.
Yeah.
That's how it's like in the pro league too, except for the Olympia. So after we did our routines on what day was it? Friday night, we had to get back into our like bikinis. And you want to think about this, like Ariel and Missy Missy had a freaking prosthetic on her face. Ariel had half Terminator makeup. They both, I'm not even joking, backstage was like dark, took off their makeup, reapplied it backstage. And then like the tanning lady, like, you know how like they have somebody to touch you up? I took my costume off and I have like streak marks everywhere from like the glue and everything. I think she spent 15 minutes just like, she had to like retan me. It was hilarious. So I was like, yeah, that is why like we usually stay in fitness costumes because it's just a mess after.
And I actually, I had experience with that only because, so during my like national qualifier for last year, I did fitness and figure and I won the overalls for both. But the thing is I did my fitness routine first and then I did like during finals. So I did my fitness routine first, then I went into figure. So I had the same issue where I had to go back into my suit.
Yeah.
Oh, the tanning lady was like, girl, like, are you serious right now? Because she like the same thing happened. She had to retan everything. I had lines everywhere. Like it was such a mess. I was like, this is not even worth it. Like it was so bad. I was like, just keep me in my like fitness costume because I can't.
Yeah, go pose in your fitness costume.
Yeah. Like brutal. Poor lady me right now. Yeah, it was crazy.
It's crazy what goes into it just for like a couple minutes on stage. Like
literally, especially for like figure, it's like fitness is obviously you have more time on stage because your routine's like 2. But for figure, you're only up there for like a minute and a half, maybe, just like especially during finals, just posing. So it's so funny. I was like, oh my gosh, just for such a short amount of time.
all the troubles just for a short time. Oh man,
so fun though.
Oh yeah, it gets addicting.
Yeah, makes for a good story afterwards.
Yes.
Yeah. Abby, walk us through your posing routine as we pull it up.
Posing or like
your what do you call it? Your
fitness routine?
Fitness routine.
Yeah, no, you're good. So it's cool because this would have been my 5th time doing this routine, but it evolved throughout each competition. So I did this for my pro debut, and actually this
I saw the suit a few times now.
Yeah, so we're changing it up this year.
Okay, but that's not what I was saying. I'm just
No, yeah, but no, it did change a lot from. So I did my pro debut December 2021. It probably changed the most from that competition to the ones I did like this past year. But the music I actually did. So when I was amateur, I did, so in 2019, I did 3 national competitions. And on the second one, both of them I got second. So I just missed my pro card both. And that was going to be it for that year. And something in me was like, no, I got to do one more. So I decided to do North Americans, which was 2.5 weeks after. So I was like, okay, I have 2.5 weeks. I kind of kept it quiet. I didn't tell anybody until like the day before, besides my family and my coach. I ended up changing I did a whole new routine, new music, new everything. And this was the music that I used for the routine that I got my pro card, but it was a completely different routine. So it was music that I wanted to save when I was pro. So because I did it in the routine that I turned pro, I was like, I want to use this music again. So that was why I chose this music again. I just did a completely different routine, kind of like Maddy. I just wanted to do, there was no theme. I remember seeing a costume similar to this design from like a dance competition. I added a few things here and there and changed the color. But I've always wanted to do something more colorful because I've always done blacks and reds for my fitness routines for most of them, except for the first one I did. I think it was pink. So I was back and forth between either purple or green. So that's why we chose that color. And then kind of just fitting my personality, like the intense. When I was a gymnast, like most of my routines were more like intense. So I wanted to kind of mimic that a little bit. But yeah, no, I was happy with this one. That's for sure.
Now, walk us through, how do you select this outfit? How do you build your, both you and Maddy?
Yeah.
How do you guys go about doing that?
So for this one specifically, I did see like something similar, like I'll like watch like dance routines online or whatnot, or try to find different costumes that I like. For me specifically, I've actually never done like a one piece like this before, but I figured like, so I do have a wider torso. So in the routine, like I wanted to just make my physique look as best as it can. Obviously, it doesn't matter at this point in the competition, the physique round's over, but you want to still like portray. So I decided to do something a little bit, I don't know, a one piece just to see what it was like. And if you look at the back of it, it's very open back to kind of create that illusion of like a wider back. So you can see, yeah, it's very like open back. Because you don't want to hide too much either. But it was actually a dance kind of clothing company that I contacted for this costume. Because my mom's actually done some of mine in the past. So we went to So I went to like a dance costume place, and I sent them some pictures of what I liked, and they kind of helped me like tweak it and like whatnot. And they were awesome. Like I went there probably 2 or 3 different times just to, like for fittings, and I got to select the material I wanted to make sure I liked that. And yeah, they did an awesome job. I loved it.
Nice.
So
what about
cool.
you, Maddy? You said your mom helped you with some of them?
Yeah, so I've done 3 shows for fitness. My first one was my national qualifier. The second one was North Americans, and the third was obviously Amateur Olympia. And so I just kept the same outfit for all 3 because I kind of wanted to I was like, all right, well, North Americans judges already saw me in this outfit. I'm just going to keep the vibe going. It's also the difference between North Americans and Amateur Olympia was like 2 months. So I was like, all right, I'm just going to keep the whole vibe, keep rocking with this. I loved the routine. It was like, I had so much fun doing it. Even though amateur or at North Americans, I messed it up, I still had so much fun doing it. So I was like, I just want to keep it. I'm going to fix, me and Missy, we worked together to fix some little things here and there. But yeah, I kept everything very similar. And I can't remember, I think going into the Amateur Olympia, I added studs on my whole outfit. So if you like, I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, but I added like diamond studs myself. I did it. I like literally super glued hand, like I literally was here doing it like hand by hand. Yeah, I super glued all these like diamonds on it because I wanted it to pop just a little bit more. So Yeah, I think that's the only thing I really changed. But like I said, I wanted the pink vibe to match my pink suit during my posing routine. So everything just like fit together. I don't know for this year what I'm gonna do yet, but like I don't have like a color scheme or anything yet, but we'll figure that out once the time comes.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say, yeah, you can reuse them a lot, especially because it gets pricey. So especially with fitness, like we need bikinis, we need fitness costumes. Like I use shoes, so like there's a bunch of different like factors that come into cost wise. So like that was my 14th show, and I've probably had maybe 3 different costumes. I competed. I did like when I was amateur, I did like 9 shows within like a year and a half. So a lot of them were just like. But we also didn't have back to back. We didn't, bunch of them was just the fitness routine because they didn't have the posing round for a chunk of time. I'm glad they brought it back.
Me too.
Because I actually did. So my very first show was in 2017, and it was the last show where they had fitness that still had the posing round. Then that following, it was a December show. And then that was it for that year. And then when the next year started, they had completely taken out the posing round. So I was glad I like started with how fitness should be. Exactly. And I'm glad that they brought it back because like otherwise, especially like young, like, cause like we're younger when we got our pro, like, well, when I got my pro card, like I was 21 as well. And
oh my gosh.
Yeah. So which is pretty cool. But, the posing around such a big, like obviously it's less than the fitness routine, but it's still a big component. And even just having the practice, like if you've never put heels on before and like walked on the stage, all of a sudden you're pro and you've never stepped on stage in heels before, like it's kind of crazy.
That's crazy. Yeah, because there was a ton of girls that turned pro during that time, obviously, where no posing routine. And if you like say you didn't come from figure or anything, like you just jumped into fitness, that's so true. Oh my gosh, like you're never gonna touch the stage in heels until they brought it back.
So I actually, because I turned pro when it was just fitness routines. But so my first one I had posing, and then I actually did a few shows where kind of like you, I did both figure and fitness just to keep like the practice. I still obviously practice with my coach all the time because we want to obviously like keep up the habit. But just to get on stage, because it's so different when you're on stage compared to just at home. Like you need to be able to get up on stage in heels in front of an audience and walk in the heels and present. You know what I mean? So
there's no mirror in front of you. Like you're posing to a crowd. That's it. There's no mirror. You can't see exactly what you're doing. So like you have to get that repetition down, just like how we have to do with our fitness routines. You got to get that repetition down pat before like, you're showing it off.
And everybody. Show, like you build more confidence, you build more stage presence, you know what I mean? So I'm glad they brought it back because I think it's just going to help better prepare that transition. It's not even a transition. Like you're already, once you get your pro card, it's because you're ready to step on the pro stage. Like you've got it all down, right? So yeah, I think that was a good change back to how it should be.
Yeah. I'm so happy they brought it back. Oh my gosh. I can't imagine. I also
go.
I also came from figure. Like I've done 5 shows. So besides like the last 2, which was North Americans and Amateur Olympia, those were the only ones I only did fitness.
Okay.
Like the past 3 before that, I've also did figure. So I came from figure. So seeing like that was like my background. I mean, I was a gymnast before that, obviously, but like having that figure background was so good because I knew how, like, I was already good at the posing routine. I knew exactly what to bring. It was the fitness
routine.
Yeah, it was the fitness part that I was like, okay, this is new to me, but like that is fitness. So it's like, you got to adapt to that.
Yeah, 100%. No, that's cool. Yeah, because I think that they were actually considering taking out the the posing round in pro, like in the pro level as well.
Wow.
But I think a lot of the girls were like, no. And it didn't end up happening, which is a good thing because I think if they did do that, they would lose a lot of athletes because it's too expensive of a sport to like, that is what it makes it bodybuilding. If you take out the posing round in fitness, I may as well just go join like a dance team or something, because it's going to be a hell of a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
But that's what makes fitness hard, is you have to diet down to this extreme, like crazy physique and still do this high intensity routine. Like that's what makes fitness so like thrilling and exciting. And I know a lot of people don't understand unless you are a fitness competitor or you've seen
Guilty.
fitness. Yeah, because you don't understand. Like people see us flipping on stage and they're like, okay, yeah, cool. Like there's gymnasts who do that too, but we're not fueled the same way that like say a gymnast is. So it's like, that's what makes it hard, is like you're training one way to build this crazy physique, and it's completely contradictory to how you would be training for a fitness routine. So you're kind of like doing two different types of training styles, and like, you know what I mean? Like eating wise as well, and just trying to find that fine balance to kind of master both aspects. It's a fun challenge.
It's so true. Like that's literally what makes it fitness. Like you just having the like routine is like, all right, so she's just a gymnast. Like it's not bodybuilding at that point. It's just like, all right, she's a gymnast, she's a cheerleader, like a dancer, like that's it. Like there's no like physique that makes it like crazy. So seeing like, all the Olympians and everybody having both aspects, it's like, oh my God. Like that's when it usually clicks for people. Like, holy crap, like she is shredded and then she's gonna go do a back tuck on stage. Like what? Like her joints, is she okay? So that's what makes it cool.
The feet.
I find like, what's that?
The feet. Because all that fat is just sucked out of your feet. I can't imagine.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The land.
The landings. That's why I wear shoes. Because I used to not, and my feet were just no. But
torn up.
I find like just the people who get it the most, even if they're not fitness competitors, are people who compete in bodybuilding, because they know what it feels like. Like even just come peak week and like at the end of prep, they're like, okay, like I can barely walk at the end and you guys are flipping and whatnot. So I think that's when it clicks in too, is when you've had that experience of like getting down to this crazy physique.
Yeah.
You these fitness girls and you're just like, whoa, like how do you even have the energy for that? That's
I've gotten so many DMs too, because like they'll see like once I posted my routine and everything, they're like, wait a minute, so you're posting all this about your physique, but at the same time you're doing these flips, and like everybody who didn't understand fitness, they were like, but they understood bodybuilding, we're all saying exactly that. Like, are your joints okay? Like I know that the bottom of your feet's hurt. Like how do you have energy to do that? Like where's it coming from? How is your food set up to do that? I'm like, oh my gosh, it's a process. It's so different like any other division.
Oh, but that's what makes it addicting. It's the hard component.
Exactly. The struggle is what makes it fun.
Exactly. No.
Like it's
not a lot of people who would say that though. Feel like you're actually crazy.
Yeah. Like you're kind of psychotic. You kind of have.
You kind of have to be in that. And I mean, just in bodybuilding alone, you have to be psychotic. But then you add the fitness component and you're just like next level, just insane.
Usually, that's what I'm saying. You got to be a special type of psychotic for fitness.
And that's why our division's so small, because it is hard. Like it's not easy. Because back in the day, like there was fitness and women's bodybuilding. So that was it. But then once they added in figure and bikini and women's physique and wellness, athletes who didn't want to be as big as bodybuilding and athletes who didn't have like a gymnastics cheer background or just didn't want to have to do the routine aspect, they kind of divvied up into the other divisions. Which I get, like I totally get. You want to fit the division that's best for you, but it's just sad to see like fitness obviously shrink a little bit. But
I know, it's so sad.
It is cool to see it evolve though too, because it has gotten to like another level, like skill wise at least.
So true. Like it's cool too, like see, I don't know, like seeing all the Olympians, like watching what their skills they're doing, and like, all right, what can we work on to bring something similar to that, but in your own version, or even crazy things like judges haven't seen before. Like it's just cool. There's so much.
Yeah, it makes you be really creative because I feel like we're at a point too where because it keeps evolving, it's like, okay, holy crap, like how do I stand out? Like what, like I gotta bring something new, but like there's so much that's already been done. So I feel like as the years go on, it gets harder and harder because you really got to start getting creative in how you stand out. But that again, it just makes it harder, but more fun at the same time. It's a challenge.
It's such a challenge. It's like you got to be creative of how you can bring something new, but that new thing also has to be done right and carefully so that you don't kill yourself or hurt yourself because like
100%.
How are you going to bring that new thing if you're injuring yourself during practice even trying to just create something new, you know what I mean? So there's a lot of safety too that has to like go into fitness that people don't see.
I 100% agree. And yeah, and it's not just coming up with like, it's not even just comparing to like other fitness athletes and bringing something that stands out from others, but I feel like it's also you as an athlete. Yeah. I've seen a lot of fitness girls who they kind of reach a point where, and I don't say that this is wrong, but they keep the same skills and they don't really, they'll change up the theme, but it's like kind of like the same routine over and over. And I mean, again, it's safe, it's clean, but I feel like those girls who kind of get rewarded are the ones who kind of like keep stepping it up. Like you'll see like Ariel, like she added in like a new cool like handstand strength move where you saw it like she did in her terminator routine, and then the most recent one that she did it in like beginning.
Yeah.
Something you haven't seen before. And it's like, whoa, okay, she's stepping up the game. Same with Missy. Like you'll see her all of a sudden throw out like a layout full, or like she's working like a standing tuck full. Like I'm sure that'll pop up on stage in the next year or two. So it's like it gets tough because you just keep elevating. But I think that's how you kind of show the judges that like you're still putting in work, like you're still trying to elevate your game. But again, it gets tough. Like
like how do you
it's not
like,
easy.
You don't want to copy somebody, but you want to do something different that's like, all right, my thing, this is what I can do without like, all right, I'm copying all these other girls. Like, no, you gotta like, it's hard, it's really hard because you gotta try and like create your own, like everybody's trying to make a name for themselves and create their own everything. It's difficult because like you said, most of it has already been done before, or you got to make sure that you can do it and perform it on a stage. There's so many aspects that go into it because like I said, how you're practicing is going to be very different than on stage.
100%.
Like who knows the material of the stage and everything. You never know.
Yeah. That's always been like I mean, I try not to worry about it, but I'm like, okay, what is the stage going to be like? Like, is it going to like, thankfully, like I really haven't had a bad experience. Like, I mean, I've had stages that are hard as rock, but they've been fine. Some that are awesome, but I think my biggest fear would be if it was slippy, which I've had one or two instances where it was a little bit like more slick than usual, but it's never gone like too bad. So that's good.
It's never been like humid.
No.
Okay.
No. I know or sorry, go Maddy.
Usually like arenas and stuff like that, like every show I've done, it's always freezing in there.
Really?
So cold. Like backstage at the Amateur Olympia, oh my God.
I've heard. Yep.
Freezing. Like a lot colder than normal. Like I don't know what was going on, but it was a lot colder than normal. So we were all standing back there, like all the fitness girls were like huddled in next to each other. We're like freezing to death because we're like, what are we gonna do, dude? Like it was crazy. So yeah, it's never like humid, like slippery in that aspect. I think because like the Amateur Olympia stage, it must have been similar to the Olympia stage because the flooring, it was so weird. It was almost like a gymnastics mat. Like it was kind of like
probably was.
Yeah, it was like you said, it was like a stage, but it was like there was a mat underneath it. So like doing flips and stuff, like I was fine. It was a lot more comfortable than the turf. I was like, damn, like this is.
Yeah.
But like you said, like doing the handstands and stuff, you could feel like my fingers were usually like this. I felt it like sink in, and I was like, ooh, but
little amount. No,
yeah,
it was our finals it was cold backstage too, and our warm up was like early, so like we're sitting backstage for probably like I think we warmed up. Our warm up was 4 to 5. We got kicked off the stage at like 4:45. We didn't get on stage till I think it was like 7:30. So, and there was no room backstage. So that was like, I surprisingly shocked myself in the fact that normally like that would like freak me out a bit. Like, holy crap, like I need to warm up before I go on. But I think with the adrenaline and everything, you're just like, go. So like, it was definitely like a cold routine, like just go out there and do it. But I think the adrenaline is what saved me on that one. But yeah, there was no room backstage. So I think that might be why they're changing locations this year. Cause I think some of the athletes may have complained a bit. Amazing venue. Like I thought the stage was absolutely phenomenal, but the backstage for finals, prejudging, tons of space. Like the weight section was phenomenal, but it was very cramped for finals.
Yeah, I heard that too, because obviously I'm really close with Tareth, Josh, you know him, but I heard backstage from a few Olympians, they were like, it was just a nightmare, like of like space wise. And I was like, wow, I can only imagine like, you know, fitness, like us, like that big of a time frame in between like warm-ups to doing your routine. It's a mind twist, like somehow terms with it. But like you said, you have adrenaline at that point. You're kind of just like, all right, it's go mode. I don't care. Like it is what it is. We're gonna get out there.
So now I know I can do a routine cold, which I never would have expected before. But because I feel like most competitions, like even like your typical pro show, like fitness is usually first up. You warm up, and then you're basically like, even if they're 30 minutes behind, like you're on in no time. Like
in 30 minutes, nothing. Like you're good to go.
Whereas like 2.5, 3 hours, that's a little bit, that's enough time for your body to just completely cool down, relax and whatnot. But
like you think about like 2.5, 3 hours after like training or after a normal routine practice or something like that, like you're completely done. Like it's like, all right, I'm back to normal now. Like my adrenaline's gone. Like I'm good to go. Like I'm a normal person now. But now I gotta like get back into that zone. It's hard. It's really hard.
Yeah. No, I know, but I can't complain too much because I mean it was awesome. Yeah. Like I think that's the only reason why like I didn't freak out or anything. So I was like, holy crap, I'm here. Like I can't wait to go out there. Like I wasn't even thinking of like any of that. I was just like, I'm gonna relax for a bit and then I'll just run around and get warm. That's about it. Yeah. So
more of like an afterthought. Like now it's like, damn, okay, like that was a lot of time in between. Like how did I do that? But in the moment you're so hyped up, it's like you're not thinking about that kind of stuff.
You're taking it all in. You're talking to other athletes. Like, so no, it was all good. I can't complain about anything.
Definitely. What do you think about like the scoring aspect? Like it being like for posing being 1/3 and routine being 2/3. Do you like that or do you wish it was different?
So tough question. So for me, the routine is definitely my strong suit at this point in time. So I like it. Do I think it used to be 50-50? Yeah. And it actually used to. So like when my coach, Mindy used to compete, fitness was crazy. So you had a 2-piece like bikini, like posing round. You had a 1-piece posing round. So you had 2 different posing rounds and you had 2 routines. So you had your 1.5-minute routine, which is like, you could wear whatever you want, do whatever you want. And then you had a cat suit routine, which I don't think a lot of people know. So you wore so you wore a complete black outfit. So like black long sleeve, like basically like, what are they called? Those like morph suits, like costumes where it's just completely black skin tight. And it was I think it was either 45 or 60-second routine where it was basically just compulsories and you could kind of do your own transitions, but you had to hit certain skills. So they had 2 fitness routines that they had to train for and compete in the same day. So you did 2 posing rounds, 2 fitness routines. And I think at some point they did some sort of like, it's evolved a lot. At some point they even had, I don't know if my coach did this at all, but it was almost like pageant like where you had to like answer like a question too. But that was a while ago.
It's crazy.
Yeah. And then it evolved and slowly took stuff out. So now it's just 1 posing, 1 routine.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
That mind. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It's cool. It's cool to just kind of like go back and see. Like I would have never known that if my coach didn't Tell me about it. But you could like look up on YouTube. You might be able to find some cat suit routines. If you ever see routines where they're wearing all black, that's the cat suit routine where it's like, yeah. Which,
like,
you know what? In a way, I think it's kind of cool because for that portion of the routine, everyone's wearing the same thing. So there's no like, oh, this person's like more flashier. You know what I mean? Like it's just based on skill alone. No props, no nothing. It's just fitness, which I think is actually kind of cool. But
it's actually kind of cool because like it's really just skill and what you can do in that moment.
Yeah.
Like it's like honestly, wow. When you think about it, that's gymnastics. It's literally gymnastics. You're all wearing the same guitar. You're all doing, like for the levels, like say like you're a level 6 gymnast, you're doing the exact same routine as everybody else. It's just who can perform it in that moment the best.
Yeah.
Wow.
Cool. And make it stand out. So it's cool. But yeah, and then from there it went like the 50-50. Posing was 50%, routine was 50%. I feel like it would be a lot easier to judge at that point because sometimes I look at the scorecards, I'm like, how do they make it like, you know what I mean? Like 30%, like
no idea.
So I know they weight it heavily, and I know so because there can be a tie. I don't know. I'm still a little confused with the rules. So all like the fitness girls will say, so if there's a tie, because somebody could win the pose, like the physique round, but not do as well in the fitness round. And if maybe somebody wins the fitness round and doesn't do as well in the physique round, and they end up with the same score, which is possible.
Yeah.
So tiebreaker. So I actually, when I qualified in Vancouver, we tied, but I won because the tiebreaker goes to the best routine. So whoever wins the routine round. That's kind of how they do it. But there were a few shows where it didn't really play out that way. Like I know the Arnold UK, I think it was like 3rd and 4th or something, where they actually ended up like fixing it. And Ben Weeder was the same. Like me and my friend, we actually tied in points. So, but like some judges will reward it fitness routine, but others have rewarded physique. So I don't know completely what the rule is. Because
I wonder if it's kind of just like that specific judge, like what they're feeling.
It could be.
Like
it could be.
Like I want to reward her because I liked her routine, or I want to reward her because her physique was crazy. Like maybe it's just in the moment of what they that's crazy.
That, you know what? That could be it. I know like some like kind of like vet fitness pros have like said it's supposed to be routine. And it was funny because like on like my scorecard, it says like it physically says like in the notes section, like tiebreaker went to best routine. But again, it could be that judge's decision to go that route. So it's interesting. Like I'm curious to see, like I'm sure we'll see it again this year, and it always happens.
Yeah, and be able to figure. Wow.
Yeah,
I hope
that's one thing that happens when it's weighted that way is you can have
a tie easily. Yeah.
So
interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. So cool. But yeah, I was wondering, you were thinking about like, because I know I remember it used to be 50-50. Now it's like 1/3 and 2/3. So I just wanted to know what you thought about it. Because I've heard a lot of people say like, oh, I wish it was 50-50, or I like how it is because my routine's stronger, or I wish it was 50-50 because then it is like, people have said it's more like bodybuilding that way.
I agree.
Yeah. Because
I would agree that I think 50-50 would be, that's how it used to be, right? Like that's how it originally was. I get both sides. To me, it just kind of goes to my advantage right now because my routine is the stronger. So like, I obviously like it, but do I think that it should be 50-50? Yeah, probably. Yeah. It just makes it more bodybuilding.
Yeah.
Because I wish it component.
I feel like right now, I mean, I still have so much room, or I have all the room in the world to freaking improve on my routine. That's what my main focus is. And my physique is the strong point right now. So
you want it 50-50.
Yeah, for me, I really want it 50-50. But now, like, since obviously it's not going to happen, or, you know, maybe it will in the future.
Who knows?
Right? Yeah. As of right now, we know what the deal is. So, like, my emphasis now is like, all right, I got to level up this routine and make sure that can be equivalent to what I bring to my physique.
There you go. That's what it's about, is literally just trying to like get both sides. Like you can always improve one side or the other.
Yeah, it's so
right?
true. And you gotta pick and choose carefully, because it's a whole thing with like fitness. Like for me right now, like leveling up certain skills, I have to be careful, because it's like, all right, I can't, like with how my joints are and certain things, I can't be trying out new skills on the same day I'm training legs. Like, you know what I mean? Like with certain routine practices. So it's like, you got to be smart with scheduling. That's another big.
That honestly, I think that's like one of the hardest things with fitness is like, there's only so much time in a week. And it's strategizing training, because if we were only training the fitness routine, it would be a breeze because your body's feeling good. You can train this. But when you're like hardcore trying to elevate your physique as well, because you got to train hard to not only get the muscle, but maintain the muscle. And when you're training, like, and then you're going, let's say you do legs, you can't go the next day and do work on jumps or flips. Like, I mean, yes, you can, but your body hasn't recovered. Like,
exactly.
And those high explosive skills, like when you're training like max 100% velocity type skills, you need like honestly like a solid 48 hours to recover until our next high velocity session. But then you're throwing in these like strength training sessions in, and it's like, yeah, you can do that, but your recovery's just, so you really gotta be, So like for me personally, I'll like say like on like a chest day or like shoulder day, like I'll start with like a couple sets of like plyo push-ups. One, because I'm at my prime, like I can go 100% and get that, you know what I mean? Like that high intensity to try and improve my velocity and power. But then it also kind of primes me for my strength lifts after. So then my joints feel honestly better. But that again, being strategic, like my jump, maybe I'll start with like jumps before I hit a leg workout. Then at least like my nervous system's firing and like things are kind of like connected brain to muscle before I start training legs. But you obviously don't want to overdo the jumps too right before you're training a heavy leg session. So
that's like, then they're going to be too tired, and you're going to be cutting sets short because, you know, you're not going to failure for this and that because this thing hurts, that thing hurts. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So important. Yeah. So crazy.
That we're that 1%, that like 0.1% of just insanity, like trying to like
feel
do the craziness, but
so nuts. I think what else?
Yeah. What was some of your guys's judges' feedback after the Olympia?
Do you want to start, Maddy?
Sure. After the Olympia or Amateur Olympia, the judges told me they really liked, I mean, we'll start with the good stuff. So everything, they really liked my physique. They liked my like V taper, which is kind of, I have like, I've always had like a tinier waist, and my back is my strong suit. So I get like a pretty good like V taper with it. So they liked that, which was cool. I was like, all right, that makes me feel good. Especially like it also like during this time, I was still like, you know, I wasn't sure with the rules and everything. So it was kind of like a moment of like, so like, you know, I was confused. So hearing a little bit of good feedback for my physique, I was so happy to hear. I was like, all right, like at least they loved everything. Like that's nice to hear. And for my routine, they really liked it. They just wanted it to be a little bit more clean, a little bit more fast paced. So they told me to just pick up the pace pretty much, and I'm like, I'll be good to go. So they didn't say anything about like, you know, skills or anything like that. They just wanted like faster pace. So that's what I'm working on. And obviously myself, I want to level up skills. So that's just what I'm doing personally. But yeah, they just told me to pick up the pace. So I'm working that right now, and we're gonna make it better. That's all we can do. So yeah.
Nice.
But yeah. So but that's what I'm saying. My physique is definitely my strong point right now.
No,
but we're working to make it equal.
I'm similar to you in the sense that my back is my strong suit, but my waist is thicker. So I have to be very strategic with like posing and whatnot. So my weakest pose is my front pose. From the back, it's not that noticeable. It's my front pose. But my feedback, so I pulled it up. So Sandy said, for my physique, she said overall look good, structure good with nice lines. And then she basically just said, continue to work on overall growth, which I know, like I'm still like, that only comes with time in the gym and age. Like we both
overall development.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's just going to come with time. So it's just that patience and just keep working kind of thing. So that's what we're trying to improve right now. And then routine wise, not too much. She really likes my strength, like my strength skill down to like the one arm.
Yeah.
She said like beginning of the routine was kind of slow. So I think it's because I do my strength skill at the beginning. So that's kind of like a good chunk of time where I'm kind of just doing that. So I might we'll see. I might position it later in the routine because I have, when I did my, what show was it? I think it was the Arnold Amateur. I got feedback from her and she said, if you're going to do something slower, put it in the middle so that you start really high energy and you finish really high energy just to create that illusion. So you might try and do something like that. Let's see.
So cool.
Yeah. And then the only other thing she said was, she's like, even though I couldn't really see it so I sent her my video to so she could do feedback after. And she said, even though I couldn't really see it on the video, my notes indicated some of the execution was a little choppy. So that might just be maybe improving my transitions or something like that from skill to skill. But when she watched the video back, she didn't really see it. So maybe it was just kind of like an in the moment thing. So, but yeah, otherwise, all good feedback. So keep improving, like Maddy said.
That's all we can do, regardless. Routine, posing, whatever it is, just keep improving. That's it.
Okay. Let's see. Do either of you know how many women's fitness pro shows there are this year?
I think that there is. It was either 8 after the Arnold or it was 8 including the Arnold. So I think that there might be 8 more. If you look at the schedule, you'll be able to see. So there's not a lot of Olympia qualification spots. So we have 3 people qualified right now who placed top 3 at the Olympia because Ariel won Arnold's, but she was already qualified from the Olympia. So there's only 3 girls qualified right now. So if there's only 8 more shows, then that means, what is that? 11, right?
Yeah.
11 athletes for this Olympia, which is smaller compared to this year.
So tiny.
Because the really cutoff, because there's a decent amount of shows this year, but the cutoff to qualify for this year's Olympia is, it's either October, I think it's October 6th or 9th. So beginning of October. So anything after beginning of October qualifies for 2024.
Yeah.
So I think the last show I want to say is either, what is that one?
This is the Legion, October 6th.
Legion. Yeah, I think Legion is that one's probably the last one to qualify for. It's either that one or is it Arizona above it?
The European Pro.
Oh yeah, where the heck is Arizona? Oh, maybe Arizona's after. You know what? Arizona that might be for 2024.
Oh wow.
So Legion will be the last one. So and Toronto Pro took fitness out this year, which I was sad for me. So it was because we talked to the promoter and because he's known for having every division he's always had every division at the Toronto Pro because it's a tier 2 show. So Adela Garcia is now hosting a show in, I believe, Texas.
Yeah, I saw that one. That was new.
Which is amazing because obviously Adela, she's 8-time, I think, Olympia winner. So she's hosting a pro fitness competition. It's the same weekend as Toronto Pro. So I think he took it out so that it didn't take away from her show, which I totally get. It just sucks because then that's one less show down for us. And I know that there was a lot of girls kind of around my area who were really aiming for that show because we only have, in Canada, we have Toronto and we have Vancouver. But Vancouver, it's not for us in Ontario, that's a 5-hour flight. So some of the state shows are closer. So Toronto's our one for the girls who are Ontario based, like that's like a good one for us. Even some of the girls in the States where Toronto's a bit closer, it's always been a good one. So I know that there was at least like 5 or 6 of us who were considering Toronto, and obviously not anymore, but it is what it is. I'm happy Adela, like she's like, that's going to be a wicked event. So.
I know. And first one, like after the Arnold. So, like, you know, it's open to all pros. Like, it's going to be crazy.
I know. I kind of wish I was doing it. I'm not doing it, but hopefully next year. Oh, because it would be cool.
And it's in Austin, so that'll be nice.
I know. And I'd love to make it out to Texas, but
it'd be cool.
In the future, for sure, we're going to have to.
Even last year, I don't know if you guys remember, but there was Boston Pro too.
Yeah. That was the first time.
Missy won Boston Pro. But because that's, how far is Boston for you?
Oh, that's a good question. I think it would be driving distance for me. Like, it would be a far drive, but like I could drive there.
Yeah. So I hope
that was another one that I was thinking about, but they're not having it this year.
I know they're not having it this year, because I was so excited when the schedule was about to come out. I was like, oh, Boston Pro, like that's so close. Like, maybe, I don't know, like I just want to see it. Even if I'm not competing, it's close. I live in Connecticut, so it's literally like an hour and me. So I was like, oh my God, I want to go. But yeah, when I didn't see it on the schedule, I was so upset. I was like, that just seemed like such a cool show. It was like a one and done. Like, they did it last year and that was it. So I hope they bring it back.
They did a really good job at like promoting it. Like, I just remember like they like made these like cool like photos for all the athletes, and like they just had really like they had like celebrities promoting it. Like, I remember
their promo was amazing.
It was crazy. Like, I remember like it was the Arnold, and then it was the weekend after the Arnold. So every like so hyped over it, and you know, because it was the first ever Boston Pro, so everybody was like, oh my God, like this is the queens of Boston, the kings of Boston, like this has never been done before. Like, I just remember all the talk for it, and now it's like, okay, it was one and done.
Yeah, now it's gone.
I know, it's kind of sad. Hopefully they can bring it back. I know it's like from a promoter's perspective, like I didn't realize it's expensive to host a pro show. Like my coach hosted she brought back the Niagara Falls Pro Show back before COVID, but she only had 3 categories. So she had bikini, I want to say 212, and classic, I believe.
I think classic was there, yeah.
Classic was also there, which was actually so cool because I volunteered. So I was actually like, me and my friend, we were helping glaze up the pros, and it was just an awesome experience. But it was an awesome show, but so expensive to host. And then when COVID hit and it just kind of threw things out, it sucks. Like, I hope like in the future we can bring it back to Niagara Falls, because like Niagara Falls is like, it's like a decent destination. I mean, I live here, so I'm like, it's Niagara Falls, but like they call it like mini Las Vegas or something like that.
Yeah.
So
cool. Oh my gosh, I hope they bring it back, because that'd be cool to see.
I know, it'd be cool to have fitness there too. Like,
yeah.
There's also supposed to be a Ronnie Coleman Classic on the East Coast.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it was in the 2023 schedule, and then when it started this year, it wasn't there.
Oh shoot.
Yeah, there's a lot of shows actually that just disappeared. So and those are like men's open shows. So usually those, when those are there, a lot of divisions that come along with it.
And another thing, what really shocked me is Pittsburgh Pro not having fitness.
Oh, I know. Because I would be all over that one, because that's close for me.
Yeah, that really shocked me. Like, because when you think about it, I mean, that's where North Americans is. I don't know if it's the same venue, but it's the same freaking town. So I was like, or city, whatever. I was like, the fact that they don't have fitness is really, they have every other division, but fitness. I was really weird.
New York Pro doesn't have fitness. I wish that would be an awesome one too. So it sucks. There's a lot that doesn't offer fitness.
Didn't New York, didn't they used to a few years ago? Did they?
I think they did.
I remember maybe one time, but
I honestly think they did at some point. But
I think 2018, 2019, I don't remember, but I was gonna say I wish they did too.
Yeah. Because that's the other thing is, like, as a pro, but especially as a fitness pro, you're very limited in what you can do, and it's just the financial aspect. Like, obviously, like you don't have to pay for the show fees, and there's costs that come down, but then it's your travel fees because now you're like Toronto Pro. That one was always a nice one for me because I can drive there in an hour and a half. Like I'll have a hotel for one night, drive home the next day. But I think the next closest, like I did Ben Weeder, and that was I think like a 7-ish hour drive in Virginia. But besides that, like there's not too much that's close. Like Vancouver, that was a 5-hour flight. Vancouver, anything else like it gets pricey.
Yeah, I'm trying to go to one show a month right now this year because I'm really trying to force myself to be like in that conversation. And God, is it expensive? Because I'm going to the muscle contest, and it's on April 1st. I'm drawing a blank. But
is it a pro show or a regional show?
It's pro-am. Yeah, it's got classic physique. It's got men's physique.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
Bikini. Yeah, so that's gonna be my first classic pro show I'm gonna go to besides the Arnold and the Olympia. So I went kind of backwards on like being a fan. My first show ever was the Olympia besides natural shows outside the IFBB and PC.
That's pretty cool though.
That's crazy.
So
how was the Arnold's? Was the Arnold's a cool experience?
I liked the Arnold's better than the Olympia. The only thing I didn't like was I messed up my flights. So it was a whole debacle. So I missed the whole first day of the meet and greet, which is like a huge day for like media, like for me to get my interviews in and meet everybody and get pictures. So that absolutely sucked. And then my flight got canceled, like just canceled. So I was there at 8:00 at night and they're like, oh yeah, it's canceled. I had to drive an hour from Oakland to San Francisco and they didn't fly out till 11:30 at night. And then it was a connection in DC. So I didn't land until like 7 a.m. And then I had to get my rental and then show up at the expo. And I didn't sleep for like 30 something hours.
I was saying dead. All right, let's get going.
Yeah.
The expo there is unreal though. Because I went in 2019. So I did the Arnold Amateur in 2019. So it was right before COVID. It was the year before COVID hit. And the Toronto Pro Expo, they haven't had it in years, but I went 2017 as just a spectator before I got into the sport. And then I competed there 2018, 2019 as an amateur. That expo, unreal. I hope they bring it back in the future because they haven't had it since. And 2019, sorry. I competed 2018, 2019. And then when COVID hit, they haven't even had it at the same venue anymore. But when I went to the Arnold's, that expo was like, wow. Like that was almost like 2 times the size of Toronto, and Toronto is big.
Mm-hmm.
That's a cool experience.
Yeah.
I thought it was bigger than the Olympia.
It is. Yeah. Oh, 100%. Yeah. It usually is. Yeah. Arnold's
Fit World. Sorry. That's what it's called.
Fit World?
Fit World. Yep.
And where is it?
It's in LA or Anaheim. Yeah. So like most of the shows I'm going to go to are going to be in LA this year just because it just makes the most sense. Yeah. It's very close for me.
Nice. That's exciting.
Have to. If you're traveling, if you're flying, it's crazy expensive.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I flew to LA, or I flew to Columbus and the Olympia back to back, so it was very expensive.
That was me last year. I flew everywhere.
Yeah.
I went to Utah for my my national qualifier, and then I went to Pittsburgh, but I drove to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, like 7 or 8 hour drive.
Yeah.
Long. And then
that's the same for me. So you must be, I can't picture Connecticut on the map, but you obviously are somewhere.
Yeah,
close.
It's like, I don't know. It's like, I'm kind of like, here's Pennsylvania. Connecticut's kind of like a straight line across. It's a little, there's some states in between, I think.
Yeah. Okay, do you know Buffalo, New York?
Yeah.
Okay, so I go to school in Buffalo. So I literally live so I go to school in Buffalo, and I live in Canada. I commute. So I'm literally on just the opposite side of the border. So like it's like a 15-minute drive to school. That's it. And I'm like in a different country. Like it's pretty cool.
Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, that's so weird.
I know. It's like
I don't know why that
right?
It does.
My undergrad was a 35-minute drive, and like now I go to school in Buffalo and it's a 15-minute drive and I'm there. Like that's how quick it is.
You have to cross the border every time to go to school. Is that a process? Like for you?
You have to get like a student visa, but honestly it wasn't that difficult at all. The only thing that sucks about it, so I've always had a Nexus. So I can get over like nice and quick, which is good. But the only thing that sucks is that so every time you cross back into Canada, you have to pay a toll fee, which basically goes to like maintenance of the bridge and stuff. It used to only be like $2 Canadian, so like probably like $1.50 US. It is now, what is it now? I think it's $10.25 US every time I cross back over. So I have an Easy Pass, so I think it goes down to probably about like half. So I pay about like $5 US, I think, every time I cross over. It's just one of those fees that I don't like think about because I just hold up my Easy Pass and I'm like, that's not money.
Taking the L. Here we go. Give me through.
It's the only thing that sucks about.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And that's crazy because that blows my mind because obviously I'm in the States. So, everywhere I travel, it's where I need to be. But that's an expense that like, no, you wouldn't think about unless you're living it. Like, that has my mind that something like that would happen.
I know.
That's crazy. Wait, so how many days a week do you have to do that? Like, how many days do you have to go to school?
It usually 5. It was nice at the beginning of the program. So like last year, it was still kind of like COVID-y type. Like the border wasn't even open to the public when I started school over there. So, which is kind of nice. Wow. The border was just empty like all the time because I was just considered essential. I think I started with only classes like 3 days a week because I had a lot of online courses. But now that I'm later in the program, a lot of it's hands-on. So I'm literally there like Monday to Friday. Next semester in the summer, we have Mondays off right now. I'm hoping it stays like that because they'll change our schedule like literally like 2 weeks before we start. So I'm just like, we're all like, please don't change because we just it'd be nice to have a 3-day weekend. A little bit of money. And that too. So that's any chance I get, like if I can zoom in on a class or like, I'm like, please, like, just let me like do this from home. Like there's been an odd time here or there. Like if 1 or 2 profs cancel class for some reason, like whether it's weather conditions and they can't make it, I'll just ask the other prof and be like, is there any way I can zoom in or like whatever? And they're usually very accommodating.
That's so nice. Because you could be like, I have to cross the border. It's not that easy. Like the whole process.
Exactly. But
because that just sounds like a whole like ordeal. Like as soon as like if I was like a professor and I heard like I gotta cross the border, I'd be like, you know what, just stay home. Whatever you gotta do. Like I'll help you out. Like, no worries, girl.
I know. At least like I mean I'm close, so like at least because like I have some friends who commute like and they like drive like 30 minutes plus cross the border, and I'm like right just on the other side. So like I'm like, okay.
At least it's not that bad.
It could be worse. Like there was even people coming from like not in my like cohort, but some of like the years above. Like I've heard of like a girl who she's from like Toronto area. So like I'm talking like an hour and a half, 2-hour drive, plus you're crossing the border. So you're paying like all that gas fees, plus like the toll, plus your time. Like that's like almost 4 hours of driving a day right there. Like I could not do that. There's no way.
That's like when you think about it, it's like, all right, what, $30 a week times 4, it's an extra 120 a month. Like you're paying another like car insurance.
I don't even want to hear it because I don't think about it.
Oh my God. Well, crazy. But it's crazy expensive. Like just like traveling is. Yeah.
Everything nowadays is expensive, like everything. And we're in the most expensive like hobby sport too.
Most expensive sport. We're in the most expensive division for the freaking sport. Because also for females, there's a lot more expenses than males have. Because we have hair, we have makeup. But those, like you can do it yourself. But at the same time, it's nice to get your makeup done. It's one less stress that you have to worry about.
So when I do multiple shows, I've actually done my own makeup a lot. I prefer not to. But just to save on fees, like this past year, I got, so out of the 5 shows I did, I had my makeup done the Toronto Pro this year, and then I had it done for the Olympia because I was like, I'm gonna get it done for the Olympia.
Yeah, Olympia, no brainer.
But the other two, the Ben Weider and Vancouver, I did myself just to save. And I always do my own hair too, honestly, just because we do our fitness routine and we gotta like slick it all back and whatnot.
I totally get it.
So I've been doing it myself, but like it obviously looks way better when you get somebody else to do it for you. And it's just one less stress. You can just relax the rest of the time. You don't have to like my arms are sore after like braiding my hair and whatnot. And
yeah. Oh my God.
But no, there's a lot of expenses.
Exactly.
So,
like just for like girls and guys, like it's expensive for guys too, but for girls it's even more. Like our suits are more expensive. Our, you got the hair, you got the makeup, everything's more expensive. Yeah, they got the tan too, but it's different. Their suits are like, it's like $50 freaking bucks. I'm like, dude,
this isn't very expensive. Like it's,
like what?
And then crazy. Ours is like the same, except it's just bedazzled, and it's like 20 times more expensive.
Yeah.
They're like, there's some suits that are up to like $2,000 Canadian.
Oh, yeah.
It gets
crazy.
We have our heels, our fitness.
Oh yeah, that's something.
That's more,
Jewelry. Oh my God.
Yeah. At least like a lot of those, like I just reuse like.
Oh, I reuse all of them because nobody knows, especially for fitness too. Like nobody knows, like.
And honestly, the judges aren't, unless like your heels are like so dirty that they're black. Like you're not gonna get judged on your heels. Exactly. Like as long as they look the part, right? Like.
Yeah. So. And as long as you're keeping them clean, and also we're in fitness, like we're not posing in them as much as a figure girl would be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, we're posing in them multiple times a week, but it's not every single day usually because we got something else to worry about. So it's different.
Yeah. I feel like you like the more you compete too, you kind of get strategic and like cost too. And the only other nice pro is like, because like especially if you compete like I compete a lot like in the air, like I'm not spending money on alcohol, like I don't drink, like you know what I mean, like when like, if you compare to your like friends and stuff, like they spend money on alcohol, they're going out to eat every weekend and like expensive meals and like
exactly we're spending money and it seems like a lot, but at the same time we're saving so much, so it kind of like one handshake. Like if
we're just so extreme and passionate about what we love that we choose to spend our money in this direction. You know what I mean? Like that's what it comes down to. It's like whatever's important to you,
and also life is so freaking short. I always like whenever I'm realizing like, okay, I'm traveling to this show, that show, like it's so expensive. I like sit back for a minute and I'm like, why does it matter? Like money returns, and experiences don't return. So who cares? Spend the money, do it. Go and have experiences. You're never gonna regret. Like, oh, I'm gonna regret going to this show, even though I didn't win. I'm gonna regret that. You're doing what you love. You're passionate about it. The money will return. The experience won't. That's like the biggest thing that I've learned the past couple of years.
I love that, and I 100% agree. Like. Those are the moments that you're going to remember forever. Like, you're not going to remember just sitting back at home because I saved a couple hundred because I didn't go do this. Like, wow, cool. Like
you got your makeup done at the Olympia. Like, that is like, it's something so stupid and something so little to like any outsider. But to us, it's like, it's the Olympia. Like, that is so cool. You have to, that's a no-brainer. You have to
for yourself. Yeah.
Like, so what?
Take it all in.
Yeah, exactly. It's $100, but this is the Super Bowl. Like, come on. Like, what are you doing? You got to go all out.
You got to look your best when you're like doing a show like that. Like, it's just, I 100% agree.
It's so cool.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
We're talking.
My brain was just like drifting off. I was thinking like, do I want to get a hotel for this upcoming show, or am I going to try to like? I didn't close the tab, so it was still looking at me. I'm like, I wonder if. Okay, so you guys aren't. What's the competitive season plan, or is it still kind of under wraps on what the hopeful shows are?
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about that yet.
Yeah, you said you're not doing the show in what?
Texas.
June, July?
Yeah, June.
Yeah, the Austin show.
The first fitness show after the Arnold.
So let's see. So that's the Adela Garcia Pro. Okay, maybe I'm just old school, but like I really wish shows brought back the Grand Prix name. Like it just, I love that. Like or if they just called it the Pro-Am, like that sounds cool too. But when it just says Pro, I'm just kind of like, meh.
I know, right?
I don't know. Anywho,
like if it's gotta have
gadget.
Name. Like if I was a promoter, I don't know what I would do.
Awesome.
If I could sponsor a show, it would be called like the Bodybuilding something Grand Prix. I obviously couldn't call it the BNN Grand Prix. That'd be kind of funny.
No, you got to get like something like extravagant where it sticks out and people are like, oh, I want to do that show. It sounds cool.
Yeah.
Or like the maximum muscle, or the I don't know, something global muscle, or
something different.
Yeah. Okay.
But Abby, what's your plans this year? What are you thinking?
I'll probably end up doing like probably at least 2, maybe 3. There's obviously not that many.
We're limited.
We'll probably aim, like obviously depending on like how things go, we'll probably aim for something like midsummer, and then maybe 1 or 2 closer, like depending on how that one goes, maybe 1 or 2 closer to like right before the Olympia. So like maybe I've always wanted to do a Tim Gardner show. So he's got, what does he have? He's got, I'm not doing Puerto Rico. I would love to do that one in the future though, because that would be awesome. But like Chicago's not too far, so like I might do something like Chicago. Tampa, I think he does as well, which is prior to. What else? There's Tampa. I actually have wanted to do Legion as well. So
I'll be there. So
okay, maybe I will aim for that one.
Yeah, that's like a 4-hour drive for me.
Okay,
so cool.
I probably will for sure. Honestly, aim. What? That's October 6th.
Yeah, it's my birthday, so you should be there.
Oh my god!
I think I'm gonna aim for that one, because whether I still need the qualification or I don't, it's a 1 month out from the Olympia. So I always like doing a show like prior to like a big show, just to kind of like keep me in check, and my body responds better that way. It's almost like a warm up, even just mentally too. Like it keeps me like in the zone, on track. And I just love to compete. So it's just fun, more experience.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, probably
I like doing, even though it gets expensive, I like doing as many shows as possible. Like it's fun, because like doing like one and done is like, okay, I prepped for this long, whatever.
Yeah.
Back off season, like it's just like I feel like doing something like that, like your body, like no matter what, your body's gonna go through so much.
Yes.
But I feel like trying to keep each season, each duration for as long as you can is kind of better. Like no matter what, it's gonna harsh on you. But like you should be prepping, this is just what I think. You should be prepping a good amount of time, and once that time's over, off season for a good amount of time. Like it shouldn't just be like boom, boom. Like, you know what I mean? Like constantly back and forth. Because I feel like that's a lot.
I've always done like this year's probably like obviously like the shorter off seasons, like since after COVID, but like I did something similar. Like when I first started, so I did my first show, let's say I took like 2 months off or whatever. Then I did I think I did 4 shows that following year. Then I did like off season, and then I did another 4 shows. So like I would compete like all summer, take like build. And then when I got my pro card, which was August 2019, I didn't step back on stage till December 2021. So it was like 2.5 years, mainly because of COVID. It was COVID. I would have stepped on stage earlier, but it was probably honestly for the best, because I needed that break.
Works. Like everything happens for a reason, but that definitely is an advantage, because you have time. In reality, we all have time, but I don't know who's also competing during 2020. Nobody. It's
that's the other thing. It wasn't ideal. Like it was funny because I actually choreographed the routine. So the routine that I performed at the Olympia, very similar, but it was same costume and everything. But I mainly choreographed that routine literally in my basement. I have like these like judo type like foam mats. And so I bought them. At first I didn't have anything, and it's just like this tiny corner, and I would do it in like tiny sections and like figure it all out that way. Like before once I got to a gym, once they finally freaking opened, because we were locked forever.
Yeah.
So that was the other thing. It's like, I had all that time off and I was strategic with my training. I think that's when my fitness skills developed the most. I was fortunate enough to have weights at my house, but it just obviously wasn't ideal in like what I had available to me. So I did still have some time in the gym once it finally opened, but like it sucks because it's like, what could I have like accomplished physique wise with like just a little bit more. So, but we used what we could. We were strategic, like a lot more tempo and
totally.
That's good. I was lucky. I bought all my gym equipment with my tax returns the year before COVID. So I had a fully equipped gym in my storage unit. So I was set.
That's so nice.
I was like, I have like a universal machine, but it's like ancient. So it's like my lap pull down, like the wires are like it's not safe. It's gonna snap any second. So like every time like I pull it down, I'm like, please don't snap. Like it's not safe.
Yeah.
But like I had like a lap pull down. I had like a low cable, a high cable, like a really sketchy, crappy like mechanical wise
really
leg curl, but it does the job.
Yeah.
A couple dumbbells, and I did
every rep was questionable.
Yeah. I'm like trying as hard as I can.
Not kidding. Like, was it going up? Was the weight gonna fall off? Is my knee gonna break? I don't know what's gonna happen, but it's working as of right now.
But yeah, no, but again, like it was better than nothing because like there are some people who had absolutely nothing. So I was like, at least I have.
It was kind of funny, like looking back at it.
You got creative with some of the exercises you do, and
like, I literally brought all my gym. Like I had, as soon as COVID hit, I went on Facebook Marketplace and I found a ton of people selling like gym equipment, and it was so cheap because nobody knew what was going on. So I didn't know what was going on either. Nobody did, but it was like stupid cheap, like even like cheaper than you would go to like sporting goods stores. So I was, oh no way, dude. So I bought like so much stuff from just like old people who like didn't need this gym equipment anymore. I drove like a few hours to go and grab. They had a ton of weights, ton of machines, barbells, squat racks, you name it. They had everything. And I was like, oh dude, I'm just gonna splurge on this. I don't care. So I did that, and I like put it all in my like garage. But like during COVID, it was like springtime / summertime. So I remember like I would literally be doing leg extensions outside. Like I would bring the whole machine like onto my driveway. I'm literally doing leg extensions like outside in my driveway. Like it was just like looking back at it, what was I doing, dude? Like
that's hilarious. I would take like the dumbbells out and I would do like walking lunges down the driveway, but like, my machines were all downstairs. I was like, I'm not like that's crazy.
It's funny though, because it makes no sense. Like what were we doing?
Yeah,
it's crazy.
You're not gonna see that anymore unless there's another.
There's
going to be another lockdown. That was nuts.
Yeah,
but
that was just so funny. Forget.
Yeah, hopefully that doesn't happen again.
Yeah,
but there were some funny videos. People were doing some crazy stuff on Instagram, like creative exercises, and everyone with the bands. Oh
my god! Thought about that. Bands were like the thing. Like it was like hard too, because everybody and their mom was using them.
Yeah, everyone was getting smacked in the face and the throat and in the butt,
hooking it up to like your freaking door, like somehow over it, and then it like slams back. Oh my god!
Yep.
Good times. So fun.
Yeah, the pull-up bars from the door frames, and then they would like rip out the whole frame, and
I had a sketchy one of those. I was the only one who could use it because everyone else was too heavy. But even when I was using it, the one side started to like slowly like come down. We fixed it. It's all good now. But initially, the wood we put it in was like no good.
Yeah, in the moment, it's like I don't know how it's gonna go.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Risk it for the gains.
Exactly.
Okay. Do you guys have anything coming up that's exciting? Any volunteer work or any shows you're gonna help out at? Any athletes getting ready for shows?
Mindy has her first show this year, May 6th. So I'll be at that one.
Yep.
So that'll be fun.
Ooh. Wait, what show is that?
It's a regional one, so it's called the Mindy O Show.
Yeah.
So
Oh, okay.
it was the second show I ever did. So I actually have competed it in the past, back in like 2018.
Yeah.
But I volunteer at it every year. It's a blast. She brought it back to like a bigger, she brought it back to it's called the Scotiabank Center. Yeah. So it's like a bigger stage, bigger venue. So it should be good this year. So it'll be awesome.
So cool. Oh my gosh. But yeah, I don't have anything planned right now. I do want to go because Josh, you've probably seen on Instagram, Karen's doing New York Pro.
Heck yeah.
I would love to go watch New York Pro.
Oh, it's gonna be a monster show.
I
mean, Kareth, in my opinion, Kareth is the favorite for 212 right now.
Yeah.
But open, I mean, you have so many young monsters coming in there.
Yeah.
That's so exciting. I'm jealous.
So many like pro debuts in the open class. It's gonna be wild. It's gonna be one of them so far. I mean, it's kind of silly to say, but it's gonna be the most competitive show so far.
Oh yeah. And New York Pro, like just the name, everybody tries to do that show. Like
big one.
Yeah, it's a huge one.
Is that a tier 2 show? I can't remember. Maybe not. I think you have to have every division to be tier 2. I can't remember.
Yeah, I thought it was a tier 1 show, but I don't think
I think only Olympia and maybe it is. I think it's only Olympia, Arnold, and maybe like Arnold Australia that are tier 1. I'm not 100% sure. I know Toronto's tier 2. That's the only tier 2 show that has fitness, I believe. Unless the Arnold Australia is tier 2, but I think it's tier 1. I can't remember. But
does the tier 2, does the tiers even matter now that the points are gone?
No, I guess they wouldn't.
Right, because you're not going to get more points for placing second.
Yeah. So the only thing that it could dictate is prize money. Because I know, I think tier 2 shows are supposed to have at least like 5K total prize money divvied up between first to third. I think that's how it goes, but I could be wrong.
But doesn't that really just fall upon like the promoter on how much they want to put into the purse? Like because that's something I was talking to somebody else offline, was like the IFBB and the NPC, like the league, all they are is a sanctioning body. So are they forcing promoters to put up a certain amount of money and in return they get called a tier 2 show? Because I'll talk with David Bowers because he's always been pretty open to me, and he used to run the Indie Pro.
Okay. I'm not 100% sure on it. I think because I just know that the Toronto Pro has usually always done 5K, except since COVID, they've been less. So I don't know why, but I think it depends. Because even I was surprised because Vancouver, when I did Vancouver, that was a tier 4 show. I think that was one of the lower tier shows because it's also, I think, depicted on that's a newer show, whereas Toronto Pro is one of the first. So that could also be dictated why it was higher tiered. They also have every category, whereas say Vancouver doesn't. But Vancouver actually had for fitness, I think it was just fitness, but we had a higher prize money. It was 4K divvied up between first, second, third, which Toronto Pro was only 3K divvied up. Yeah. So a lot of shows usually are 3K, which I was just shocked that I don't know if they had a really good sponsor for fitness. Who knows? Because I don't think the other divisions, I think they were only 3K for the other divisions, or maybe 3,500, something like that. So that was pretty awesome.
That's so cool.
Yeah, to have fitness well represented there in terms of reward. So but yeah, maybe it is just depicted on the promoter, what they decide or what sponsors they get, who knows, to be able to fund the rewards.
Right. Huh. Good question. Ladies and gentlemen, let us know down below if you know the ins and outs of the tiers nowadays and how the money is divvied up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when's the New York Pro? That one's coming up, is it not?
6 weeks.
Well,
no, I think it's farther out than that. Now that I say it.
Oh.
The New York Pro
Toronto,
is
right?
January, March, April, May 20th.
Oh,
May 20th.
Okay, cool.
I said May 15th. That was close enough.
Yes, yeah. You're very close.
The Toronto Pro is like the first weekend of June. So I will actually be at that one as well. I'll be with a booth. I'll be with Devote at that one. So I'll be there all weekend, which is cool because so that one's a pro-am. So that one has like the amateurs on the Saturday to like it's a pro qualifier. So I have a few friends competing in that one. So I'm excited to like watch them. And then the pro show will be on Sunday.
That's
yeah, so it should be a good event.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Post Olympia cheat meal.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh.
There were some good ones.
Okay, wait. Let me take a bathroom break really quick because I'm about to pee my pants.
All right, deal.
Okay, I'll go.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll the conversation. Give me 1 second.
She's like, I don't want to miss out.
Okay, I'll wait. Maybe I should. You know what? I'll go to like right now.
Okay,
that way we're like the same time, and then we'll like. Unless you want me to wait, I can.
No, go ahead. I'll make it to the shake because I'm starving.
Okay, sweet.
Okay, we're back. Sorry, quick little intermission.
Okay, I went too.
Yes, I also went. So bathroom break. I snuck one in.
Okay. Do you want me to start? Or you want to start, Maddy?
Oh, whatever. I'll start if you want me to.
Okay.
Right. Post Olympia cheat meal. Oh, amazing. Let's see. What did I do? So, well, I have after every show, I have like a very like specific way that I go, like I approach. Like, have you guys ever seen how Sid Gillen does her cheat meals?
Oh, her like food festivities.
Yeah. So, she usually does like, I mean, she does that for multiple days, like this food festival thing. I don't do that. Like, I'm saying her normal week to week cheat meals. What she does is like, she'll do whatever she's like pretty much craving. She'll do like a big, like she'll have like 3 burgers and then desserts on the side and fries and this and that. Yeah. So she'll do everything that she's craving in that moment. And then it's like one and done. Then she's done. So that's exactly the approach that I take. And I just do whatever I'm craving in that moment. And then I'll do whatever. And then I'll do my dessert. And then after that, I go to sleep and that's it. I don't carry it on for the day after. It's always just one and done because after I did my first show, it's been like a trial and error of like what works and doesn't. Because at the same time, I want my stomach to feel okay. I have a sensitive stomach, so I want to just make sure that, you know, I'm feeling good. I can train normally. I can practice my routine normally. Like I just want to, you know, be up to par as best as I can. Yes. At the same time, I want to enjoy myself. You know what I mean? So, I'll just do, you know, whatever I'm craving. But anyway, so after the Olympia, I did my favorite food on planet Earth, literally, is sushi. So I did. I went to this place in Vegas. You know, because of my situation, I was in a little bit of a funk. Obviously, you know, we know that. We already said. So I had a penthouse suite in my freaking hotel. So I was like, I'm gonna live this moment up. I'm gonna freaking Uber Eats my sushi here. Like, I need to enjoy this because this is crazy.
I love that.
Like, are you kidding me? Yeah. So I was like, I'm living in my best life right now. Like, I even said to my sister, I was like, forget everything that just happened. Let's just live. Because me and my family are so close. Mm-hmm. They traveled every show with me. So this is like me and my sister's thing. She you know, joins the cheat meals with me. So I was like, dude, come on. Like, we got to enjoy the sushi in this freaking penthouse. Like, are you kidding me? So we freaking Uber Eats did it there. So we had a bunch of sushi. We had sushi burgers. Oh my God.
Oh, that sounds good.
Dude, I've never seen anything like it in my life. Yeah. And then we got something from a bakery. It was called like Carlos Bakery. Carlos.
Oh yeah. I've had that in I've had their stuff from like their like original location in New Jersey.
Yeah, I guess they're like everywhere. I didn't know that. I thought it was just like everywhere. Yeah, I thought it was just a Vegas thing. So I'm like, oh, what's this? Like, I think it's some new, you know. I thought it was so crazy. Turns out I live in Connecticut. There's a big casino called Mohegan Sun in Connecticut. There's literally one there. I was like,
that's
dude,
hilarious.
Yeah, I was like, I thought I was doing something special. No, I wasn't. But anyway, that's besides the point. So I got like cannolis from there. I got a rainbow cake. Oh my God, it was so good. Best cannoli I've ever. My family used to own a freaking pasta shop and we made homemade cannolis, but that cannoli, so good. Maybe it's because it was after competing too, so everything tastes better.
Everything tastes better.
But dude, oh my God, it was freaking next level. It was so good. And then I'm crazy. I also brought like my cookie dealer online, like their dealer.
They actually had them backstage at Olympia finals.
Yeah. Morel, right?
Yeah.
His company.
I actually went to Karen's house. This is another story, but I actually went to Karen's house like before she got really big. She used to rent suits. So when I was competing in figure, I would go to her house, try on suits, rent a suit from her, and then and that's how I would get my suits. So we go back. But anyway, so I ordered some of her cookies for the Olympia, and so I flew with them. I had them frozen. I flew with them, so I had those too after the show. Oh, but it was so fun. It was just so cool.
Sorry, go.
No, I said, what about you, Abby?
Oh, for me, okay. So I am like similar in the sense I usually post show, like I'll do like a dinner that night, but then I'll also do like a breakfast. So like I usually do like 2 meals, back on track by after that breakfast. This Olympia I did enjoy more than I usually do. So I did.
I do.
I was like, I'm in Vegas. I'm going to. It's been like a year of prep straight. I'm like, okay, we'll just enjoy. So the night of the show, my one friend who actually also, it was her Olympia debut, Danielle. So we competed every show together this year. So like, and I actually did my very first fitness show ever with her. So like we go way back. We've done so many shows together, which is awesome. It's been a fun journey with her. So like we did Vancouver together and like we went and got our nails done like for that show and stuff. So she always organizes all the post show food stuff. Like she's on it. I'm just like,
I go
usually like, I'm the same with the cookies. So like we have a cookie company here. It's actually one of my friends, Kyla. I've competed with her back in the day as well. She's a fitness pro actually also. She hasn't competed yet as a pro, but she got her pro card in 2018. She has a cookie company called Kai Cookies. Literally the best cookies I've ever had in my life. Like they are my weakness. I actually ordered a box prior to the Olympia and I haven't picked them up yet, and I don't know if I should because like I'm getting into prep soon, and I'm like, man, because you always order stuff like when you're like craving it, but you can't eat it. But her cookies are my favorite. Anyways, so that's usually my go-to. But yeah, anyways, so my friend Danielle, she got reservations to I don't remember what it was called. It was a nacho place, Nacho Daddy. That's what it was called.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I was all over. I was looking stuff up.
Yeah. So I like that is not typically something that like I crave or think like that's not my go-to. My go-to is either sushi or like burger, sweet potato fries. It's those are always the meals post show. So I'm like, okay, we'll go to this nacho place. I ended up getting like these like lobster crab nachos. I split it with a friend. So one of my friends who's like from like my like hometown, like she competes in figure. So she just flew down just to come like support me and like spend the weekend with me. So like we split it just so I could just like nibble off of like overdo it. And then we got like the dessert and split a dessert. So that was good. Didn't overdo it that night. Well, the next following day, no, Saturday I didn't really do much. Saturday we had like a gala dinner like with the Olympia. So like the food was literally like chicken, salad, veggies. It was actually kind of funny. I'm like, that's hilarious. It's like a typical bodybuilding meal.
Like we're literally bodybuilding. That's our normal food. But I'm like, really? That's what you give us? What the heck? You would think filet. We're gonna have ribeyes. Yeah. Like, come on, let's do it up.
I did do brunch though with like some other. So one of my other friends, Victoria, she competed in women's physique at the Olympia. It was her second Olympia, and her coach is a small world, but her coach is one of like the managers for the supplement company I'm sponsored by. So like I've gotten really close with him over the years, and he took over her prep just at the end. So like we all like went out for brunch that day. So it was fun. It was a lot of just like social type stuff.
Yeah.
I got my burger. What day was it? I think it was Sunday. Okay, I did the burger and the sushi in one day, that was the end of it. But we did Gordon Ramsay burger for lunch.
Yeah.
So good. And then we did sushi for dinner, but it was good because so we went to this like higher end like sushi place it was in the Venetian. I can't remember what it was called, Tao or something.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like your typical like
all you can eat.
Sushi. Yeah. So like I literally had I had a set of 8 rolls and then like literally one piece of like salmon. You know, it's just like the rice and then like the sushi. I think it's called sushi. I had like
right?
one of the salmon and one of the eel. And I think I got a big hand roll. And that was it because it was a pricey freaking place. But the quality, I have never tasted sushi so good in my life. I was literally enjoying that's like taking my time. It was so good.
That's crazy.
That was my little food festival for like, okay, there's one more. There is one more. The Monday morning before we left, I had carrot cake, French toast. And one of my biggest weaknesses too, which I really haven't had any since the Olympia is cheesecake. Like I love cheesecake, but anything like cream cheese frosting. So like, that's why I love Kyla's cookies. She has a lot with like cream cheese frosting, but the carrot French toast. Yeah. Carrot cake French toast literally had like cream cheese frosting and it was so good. And then we were like, okay, back to
a girl chicken.
Because your body, like, after all that, my body was like, all right, you're done. Like,
yeah, that was a nice run. No, I totally get
it. Time to get back to it.
Yeah.
But it was definitely an enjoyed weekend post Olympia. Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah. I can't pick a favorite though. They were all so good.
So funny.
Last one, because I think we're hitting like the 2-hour mark, and I could talk forever, but I have to be moved out of my next place by tomorrow night, so I still got a little bit of stuff to move out still. Yeah.
I need to
well, because like I moved out on the 9th, and I moved into my new place, this one, on the 9th, and then I move out on the 17th on my old place. So like you'd think I gave myself a lot of time, but it's been like crazy for California. I've had some crazy weather. So like I lost like half the days to just rain.
Oh shoot.
And the time change, I know it's not a big deal. It messes me up. Oh my God.
I didn't even notice, honestly. I completely forgot.
Maybe because I'm such a person, it's being a bodybuilder also, but like I'm someone who's like on such a strict schedule with myself, like to the T. It's a little creepy sometimes, maybe, but like,
Abby's that person.
Yeah. Oh, Abby, you feel me? I love it.
I feel you, and I'm like, yeah. Usually, I'm in bed by like now.
Yeah, like I have really bad OCD, like extremely bad. So every hour of my day is planned out. Like, not even kidding. So 1 hour being off throws me off. Like right now, I'm all thrown off because of this time change thing. But I totally get it, and also weather. It's messes you up.
Yeah. Favorite French toast / pancake topping?
Okay, well, cream cheese frosting. Like you already just heard it. Like if that's a topping that I can say, it's cream cheese frosting.
Okay, that's the first one. Okay.
Oh my God.
Frosting.
Pressure's on me.
Yeah.
Wait, so what do we say? French toast or pancakes?
Yeah.
Topping.
Yeah, because I usually say favorite pancake topping, but I had someone on the women's bodybuilding one, and she said, well, if you said French toast, I would have told you exactly what it was.
Yeah. Well, also waffles. That's okay.
And oh my gosh, I'm just gonna add that too. Pancake / French toast / waffle. Okay,
there we go. Because I was gonna say my answer kind of changes if it's a waffle, but oh my God, I really like. I mean, this is gonna sound healthy, but it's not. Like, I don't mean for it to sound healthy, but I love like fruit on top of them.
Yes,
like
that's
here's a little strawberry. Like, no, I want like the whole
bunch.
Yeah,
that was Chris Cormier. He was just like, I just like fruit on mine. I'm like, huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I want
interesting
as many strawberries and bananas and blueberries, but I don't want like you just cut them up. No, I want like the sugar mixed in with it, so it's all like pureed,
like yes, yeah,
mushy. Like it's like the freaking blueberries they're not whole blueberries. They're like water. Like I don't know. It's like liquid. Like I want like yeah. I know it sounds gross. Oh, the powdered sugar.
Powdered sugar. Yeah, I forgot about the powdered sugar. Yeah. Okay, I have to say one. So after the Ben Weider, which was in September, so I did. So the same friend that came to Vegas with me, she also competed at the Ben Weider. So she did amateur figure, and then I competed the same day. And like they were just in the morning, we were at night. So we did a road trip out to Virginia, and it was awesome. And then the competition was so delayed. Like the pros were supposed to start at 3 p.m., which were the males, and then the females after. The men didn't start, I think, till almost 6. So we didn't get on stage till 8 p.m. for the physique round. We were doing our routines like at like 9:30, 10 p.m. So by the time like awards finished, I went and got changed. It was like 11 p.m. All the restaurants were like closed. Like all the ones in the hotel were closed. I was just tired. I don't usually drink alcohol, but me and my friend got a glass of wine. And this is like, I haven't drank anything like alcohol wise in probably a solid year or more. And I had no food in my system. Like maybe I nibbled on some snack or like rice cake if I had it.
Yeah.
That one glass.
Done.
Done. Yeah. I couldn't stand up. Done. I was like, this is a mess.
Everything, you're done, girl. Forget it.
But the next morning we stopped. So on our way home, we stopped at Denny's for breakfast. And we got, because it was in season, they were pumpkin. Was it walnut? Pumpkin walnut? No, pumpkin pecan.
Oh, yeah.
Cakes. And it had this like, what was it? It was like this caramel maple syrup. And then we asked for like cream cheese frosting on the side. This is dessert for breakfast. Like,
that's how you gotta do it. Come on.
Oh my gosh. So we're like, we both got the same thing. So we're just like in heaven eating these pancakes. We're like basically done the pancakes, and the waitress comes out with another batch, and she's like, the cook like felt bad because your pancakes were really flat. So he brought out these like, do you guys want more? And at first I was like, these are the best things I've ever eaten in my life. Like, I'm good. And my friend was like, what are you doing? It's free pancakes.
Yeah, like go take them.
So we took them. I had another one, and then like I packaged up like the 4th one to take home. And there actually was a difference. I would have never because again, kosher food is just delicious. But the second batch they brought were like the fluffiest, like fattest pancakes. Oh, just thinking back, that was a good post show. Like again, usually I'm like a sushi burger, like I love my sweets, but my first thing is usually something like savory, and then I'll have dessert. But that was
I always go savory first, then dessert, because it's like that's how you always need to end it on a like little sweet note. Yeah,
I agree, because that's my favorite part. Like either the kai cookies or like, the cheesecake.
Yeah, there's got to be a finisher. I always.
Yes, I agree. But yeah, sorry, I had to throw that story because I thought that was funny.
No, you're good. Okay. Mandy, you said you're in Connecticut, right?
Yes, Connecticut.
How far away are you from Bedford?
Bedford, Connecticut? Oh my God. I would say probably like an hour.
An hour?
Maybe.
Okay.
5 minutes.
Yeah.
I think
I'm not sure. My new job, their East Coast headquarters is there.
Really?
Yeah.
What's the name of the company?
It's called Ferrotech. Oh
no, I don't know.
Yeah, they make like microprocessors and conductors. So
interesting. I'm in I mean my town's small, but I'm in kind of a well-known area in Connecticut. Like there's Hartford, and there's like that's like the capital. Everybody knows Hartford.
Okay.
But you know what I mean? Like that's like when you hear Connecticut, you usually are in Hartford. But I'm from not Danbury, but that's what's close to me is Danbury. I'm from a little town called New Milford, but it's crazy.
Yeah.
Now there's also not a lot of pros that come from Connecticut, so because we're such a small state.
Yeah, because Cutler's from Massachusetts, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of close.
Yeah, it's kind of close. But yeah, there's not a lot of pros, not a lot of Olympians here, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
We got
I didn't realize there's a women's bodybuilding pro that works out at my gym, but I've never met her. But I know she trains there, and I saw her on like the tags because it's like a commercial. It's like a crappy gym. So like half the time I'm the biggest guy in there, and like I'm so broken. Like I'm just like, okay, guys, y'all need to work on it because I shouldn't be the biggest guy in here. But yeah, I saw that. I was like, holy cow! So I've been really trying to.
I was trying to be so cool.
Yeah. So yeah, I've been trying to meet up with her. She's not too social, so oh well. Oh, gotcha. Maybe if I have like another women's pro message her, like I know how it is, so
yeah,
maybe that'll work. But
wait till she's done the workout.
Well, no, I haven't seen her in person yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, if I saw her in person, I would wait and be like, hey, Gabby, and then she'd be like, oh, hi. I'm like, hey, I'm so and so with the so and so.
Yeah.
And she'd be like, I mean, just by the name alone, usually people are like, oh, okay. Because when it says Bodybuilding News Network, usually you're like, it's not like a confusing name. Like if I said I'm with RX Muscle, like, okay, RX, what does that mean?
Yeah. No, definitely.
I got pretty lucky with the name, so it helps a lot. But yes, Legion, I'll definitely be there. I've been talking with Chris, the promoter, trying to figure out like how the media would work there because if I'm going to travel to shows, especially like pro shows, I want to make sure I'm able to move around without limitations. I want to be able to like interview people and get into a good photo area, get pictures and stuff.
Yeah.
So
that's how it's going to be worth it for you and the promoter and the competitors, like,
yeah, I'm not asking for money. I mean, eventually, because this is my first year going to shows and doing all this in person. So a lot of it's just doing it for free, eating the cost, but building the relationships. Because now I was so lucky to get my press pass for the Arnold Classic, which was massive. So like
huge for you.
Yeah. So like getting this was massive. So like now I can take this and try to leverage it at, smaller shows and be like, hey, I was official media for the Arnold Classic. Like I was wondering if you'd be interested in, inviting me to, host interviews and provide blah, blah, blah. And once I get my passport, I was talking with Corey with the Vancouver show, and he was offering to see if we could figure out some way of doing like the commentary. So like if they were to do a live stream, I could hop in and me and a couple other people would do the commentary for the show. So that's the next huge jump.
But I love that about the live streams. When you hear the commentary in the background, they're like, just the things that, because I remember for the Arnold, like some of the wellness girls, like they were talking about, and it's not even the ones that are first and second place that they're talking about. That's interesting. They're talking about like the girls that are placing, like fourth, fifth, like that's the interesting stuff that they were saying. And I was like, this is so cool. Like it was the girl who placed fourth in wellness. Her name's Alexis. They were saying like, oh, this is my favorite physique that's crossed the stage. Like, yeah, she's not the biggest, blah, 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 this and that. But just overall package, this is my favorite. So just hearing what they're saying, like what different people are saying, it's just cool. I don't know. I love
it. Makes it like almost, it makes it like more personable too. Like for people who are like, especially people who don't know the sport, they're watching online and the commentary helps because it's like, okay, the judges are looking for this, or like, this is what she did well, or what she presented well. So they get more knowledge and they're like, oh, okay, like I understand a bit more. So I think like that makes a huge difference having that commentary for online.
And even watching like different divisions, you gain respect and you also gain like a weird knowledge of how it can work for your division. Like I'm watching the wellness girls, but I'm seeing their presentation and how somehow I can turn that into a positive for mine, and what for fitness, what we can do to mimic what the judges want, so it's cool. Just there's a lot of like different appreciation that you can gain from watching it.
Yes, I agree. I 100% agree.
It's cool.
It's a very overlooked part of the sport, but I think it's getting a lot of love now. So it's perfect for me,
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. My goal isn't to be on the Olympia stage. My goal is to promote people that are doing it.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. So yeah. Anyway,
awesome.
So Ladies, actually, Abby, you kind of mentioned it. Was it Devote wear that's running that clearance right now?
Yeah, they have a big sale going on right now. So until Sunday, it's up to 60% off site wide, but you can also, so usually like you can't use like our athlete codes during like a big sale like that. But for limited time until Sunday, you can also use my code Bolton10 to get an additional 10% off the sale items, which is pretty cool.
Yes. And what's your favorite article of clothing, or what's your favorite combination?
Gosh. Okay, so those leggings right there, they come in pink, and they used to come in black. They're no longer selling the black, but they're also just came out with should I have them right here? They're gray. They're like a light gray.
Okay.
These are my all-time favorite leggings by them. They're just like, I like very like stretchy but like supportive leggings, and they are the comfiest leggings. And I'm actually wearing the flared leggings right now. They're also really awesome.
Okay.
It's so hard to choose just one. I like so
Oh,
much.
I like that a lot, the flared ones.
Yeah, so I have those on right now, and like they're super comfortable. What else?
I'm over here like, oh, I like those. Like I could wear
Yeah.
that.
I know,
like
yeah.
I love leggings, but like I hate wearing shorts over top of them, and I'm a guy, so it just I don't know. I love leggings, but it's hard to get away with it without scaring people.
That's hilarious. But no, they have a lot of really awesome stuff. So like the honeycomb leggings too, they're one of their older products. That's another one of my favorite. Oh, and yeah, those ones right there, the marble scrunch bum 2.0, probably hands down like the most comfortable leggings I own. But like all their leggings are pretty good. And it's cool because they have some that are more higher supportive, and like some that are just that more comfortable, stretchy. And then honestly, like most of their sports bras I love, and they've got some really cute ones that have come out like with like just different cool strappy backs and whatnot.
Okay.
But yeah, I have way too much now.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm still waiting to find like the perfect brand for me. I've been wearing a lot of old school bodybuilding clothing company because they helped me out with making shirts for the Arnold.
that's so
Yeah, Scott came in clutch for that. But yeah, I'm still looking for like that, that rider wear, or that, that one brand that I really like, Jed North. They seem to be really good with like Tyler Johnson. They take care of him. I mean, and Tyler's such a good dude. So, I like to think of supporting brands that support quality, ethical people.
Yeah, 100%. I don't own anything by Jed North, but I've heard really good things about their products. I love the Confidence Sport Bra. I have that in like 3 different colors right now, and I want more colors. That one's it's just really comfortable. But again, like they do have a lot of really good stuff. One of the newer products I just got from them is their oversized tee. It might be like what's it called? Like unisex. It's actually in that corner right there, but do I have it? Oh, I have it right here. Okay, it's just all out here.
Oh, that's right here.
But yeah, so that one's in green. This one, like I have it in like gray. I want to get the green. But it's just like a nice, really comfortable oversized tee.
Okay.
But yeah, no, they've got some really good stuff, and like good quality and good price too. Yes. And then they're just really genuine people backed behind the brand. And so so Maddy, like you probably don't know this, but so when I did the Vancouver show, which is like the show, like the pro show that I won, that was the first show that like I went to by myself. So like my parents usually always come to watch, and that was like the first show I went by myself, and it was actually the owners of Devote Wear. They're from Vancouver, so they picked me up from the hotel. They drove me like back and forth from the hotel to the venue. They took me out for dinner after. They were so amazing. So and that was the first time I met them in person. So it was really like it was a cool experience.
They were like your parents, but that's so cool.
Exactly. So no, it was awesome.
That's awesome.
Okay. Yeah, so a quick infomercial for Devote.
I'll appreciate that.
Yeah, of course. I saw it, so I want to talk about it. And then also Bioperformance Nutrition discount code Bolton 15.
Yep. Yeah.
And then Maddy, what do you got? You got anyone you want to thank?
Nothing.
Any affiliate open market?
Yeah, open market, everybody. Nothing yet.
Wink, wink, hint, hint.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Open market.
Brand new fitness pro.
Yeah,
it probably won't be for long.
I'm a free woman.
Whopping 21 years old.
Thank you. I mean, I've had I had a suit company reach out to me, but I'm somebody who I'm only going to represent something that I truly believe in, or like I will use. I'm not going to promote some bull crap to somebody just to make money. I don't know. I don't need that.
Oh.
So I've always said since day one, I'm someone who keeps it real. I'm gonna keep it real with whoever I'm, promoting, or whoever I'm gonna, my audience, whatever that ever ends up being. You know what I mean? I don't like when people try and shove stuff down your throat that is just not real.
It has to fit with you and your values.
Yeah,
and then things that you're actually going to use, because there's nothing worse than promoting something that you yourself don't even use. It's okay, well, why am I gonna buy it if you're not using it? Like
when that suit company reached out to me, I already have a suit girl. She doesn't sponsor me, maybe in the future, wink wink, but anyway, she doesn't sponsor me, but I'm ride or die with her. I love her quality, love her suits. I've been wearing her suit since day one when I was 17 years old, so I was I'm not gonna change. So someone else reaching out to me, yeah, they had more followers, they had more names to them, blah blah, but it's I'm big on loyalty. I don't need that, there's a relationship attached. There's too much, it's just stupid.
Well, you're building a relationship, and honestly, it's probably gonna work. It's gonna go to your benefit in the end. But It's also, again, it's that relationship that you build.
Yeah, there's a whole other aspect to it when it comes to this type of stuff, like the media and what you're promoting and who you're with. There's so much that goes into it. You can't just join with anybody just to join, make money or something. Who knows how it's gonna go? You never know.
And the other thing is most of these sponsorships you get, you're really not making that much money. If anything, you're just getting free product.
Yeah.
And you're saving money, but you're not really getting much, honestly, unless you're a pro bodybuilder who's placing top 5 at the Olympia. Yeah, okay, maybe their contract is a little bit, they're probably getting but
that's it, really. I say that all the time. I'm honestly, when you first get some sort of contract like that, it's just free product, or stuff. Maybe you're already using the company and they're just helping you out. They're giving you X, Y, and Z for free. Exactly. They're promoting them, one hand shaking the other. But at that point, okay, that you believe in the company, you believe your values line up, because you already use their stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna promote something that, I've never taken this in my life, but here I am promoting it just because. Why not? No, it's stupid.
100% agree.
Yeah, I hate when people do that, because that's pretty much every fitness influencer on planet Earth.
Yeah, there's no authenticity.
Yeah, exactly. So I want to be real. I hate the fake stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Which is there's prevalence of that nowadays. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when opportunities come to you, what's right and what's not right. Something might seem great because they got a ton of followers, or they're promising you this much money or whatever. But if you feel like something's off, or it's not right, doesn't fit with you, it's why are you gonna waste your... Yeah, not the vibe, not fit with you, no, it's just stupid. But yeah.
No, I feel that.
Yeah, there's too much of that. It's crazy.
Yep. No, I've gotten caught up in that before. So yeah, especially with supplement companies. They'll say something, and you're like, oh, okay, that sounds great, and then a couple months into it, it's okay, what's going on here?
Exactly.
And then you have to backtrack, and you've already separated from the last brand, so then now you're just kind of floating out in the middle of nowhere. And you're like, oh well.
That's another thing too. When you want a good one that's gonna stick
and support you too.
Yeah. Support you. You want something that you're going to be with for a while.
Yeah.
And they can grow with you. So that's a big, I mean, I also have my gym. It's not like they sponsor me or anything like that yet. But you know what I mean? It's just like, I've grown, I've been with them since I was 13, 14 years old. I'm the first one who's ever turned pro there. So it's huge for my gym. It's huge for me. It's like, there's more meaning behind that than like all these stupid brand deals.
100%.
Like,
there's now more people are looking up to you, and it's like, holy crap. Like, you know what I mean? You got to set that a good example, because I find there's too much. I think social media is the big problem. Is you see these people that you idolize and you're like, I want to look like that. And there's too many young kids who are like rushing the process or trying to find the quick fix, and they're getting influenced by other people in the gym who have no idea what they're doing. Like, I have no knowledge, education. And it's like, so setting a good example, and it's like, okay, this is like, it's hard work. It's the food. There's so many components that go to it. Like, it's a good example.
I've literally grown. That's what I'm saying. Like, I've grown with the owner. Like, they've seen me go from, I literally used to be dropped off by my mom after high school. School. Not even high school. I think it was 8th grade. Like, she would drop me off to freaking the gym. I would go inside, work out, and then she'd pick me back up. So like, they saw me go from that moment all the way to, you know, an IFBB pro is like, holy, like, there was a lot of time in between of just grind. So like, them supporting me no matter what, that means way, way, way more than me being like, all right, yeah, thank you for the freaking free creatine. Like, it's just like, what? It's stupid. Like,
that's so amazing.
I love like the backstories. That's what means more to me. The relationships.
Yes.
All right. If you ladies eventually offer 8x10s, I would love an autographed one to add to my wall. Once I have it built, probably in the next couple of weeks, I'd love to have you guys both on the wall. So, and the goal is to have so many that it has to start taking over other rooms. That's the goal. Like, I want to be able to like have a bath. Well, the bathroom will be a little weird, but you know, like have someone come in to like use the bathroom and they sit down. They like, huh? Oh. They're like, that's like, a weird. What? Yeah.
What? I'm taking a piss and I'm looking at Abby on the wall right there.
It's like, I think I know that one. Taking selfies, like, why are you in this guy's bathroom?
It's too funny.
I'll have to keep it like just guys in the bathroom. Well, no, because then maybe that'd be even more uncomfortable if it was like a girl's over and they're like, it's a lot of half naked dudes.
Yeah, a lot of half naked dudes flexing in the bathroom.
Yeah, I've gotten comments like that when because I just got out of the army, and like I'll be like scrolling at work and people like, oh, Sanj looking at half naked men again. I'm like, you know, it's not like that.
It's not like that. I swear it's not like that. It's a sport.
I'm a professional, I swear.
Yeah.
That's too funny.
I talk on Zoom.
Yeah. I talk on Zoom to these people. I'm sorry.
I have a YouTube.
That's so funny.
Well, it is getting dark. I can tell myself I can see myself slowly becoming more and more ginger. So
I love it.
I need to eat my last meal and it's like past my bedtime.
Yeah, I was just thinking it's like almost 10:30 for you?
Yeah.
Oh Lord. Yeah. Well, yeah, I'll let you both go. We got your plugs in and we joked about bathroom selfies. So yes, if you guys do 8x10s eventually, let me know.
Okay.
I would love to I'd love to buy that. But yes, ladies, totally. Thank you for hopping in here on the Bodybuilding News Network for a first installment of All Things Fitness. Ladies and gentlemen, please let us know in the comment sections below who you want to see next on the channel. If you want to see Abby continue to pop back in here, as she's probably one of my favorite guests here. And then, of course, the new and bright-eyed and bushy-tailed women's fitness pro, Maddy Slupatchuk.
Slupatchuk. Pretty close.
Slupatchuk. Okay.
That's got a cool ring to it.
Slupatchuk.
Yeah. Now, is that Polish or
Russian?
Russian. Oh, yeah. That's the safe. That was the safe bet. I was like, I don't know.
I know, right? Everybody always goes Polish first. It's so funny. Yeah, Russian and I think like Czech.
I was gonna say probably like Czech Republic, probably like that. Yeah, Slovakian. Yeah,
but mostly Russian.
Mostly Russian. Okay.
Yeah,
fair enough.
That's easier to say. So just mostly Russian.
Yep, mostly Russian. All righty. Well, that'll do it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching. Make sure you guys comment. Please comment down below and make your sacrifices to the algorithm overlord. It will help the channel grow. But that'll do it. Thanks for watching. For Maddy, Abby, and myself. Take care, and we'll see you in another one.